Don't assume he's doubting.
Right. So, like, what is this? This is amazing. So I misinterpreted your email, Paul. Another example of my incompetence. No, that's not like I'm. He's now doing the thing with him that I've done with others. He's making it me and him, but it's not me and him. Right. Like I've never expressed anything about him being incompetent or capable. Quite the opposite. I told him I defer to him and that, you know, he should follow his intuition when it comes to creating these clips and what it, you know. So yeah, man, like, you know, again, at the end of the day, I can't tell anybody else what to do or not do, but obviously after everything that's been put up there and how integral it all is with the broadcast, you know, I would appreciate if whatever content was created remains and that there's a record of it and that I'm able to access it and play it and use it. Snafu, I'm going to throw you the fuck out of here if you keep flashing in the back, distracting me from doing my broadcast. I'm sick of you. Everything becomes about you. Sick of it. Fucking light and attention and conversation has to be on you constantly or you start freaking out. I'm addressing other things here if you haven't been listening. So yeah, I would prefer if we could just keep the record intact and keep the videos intact so that I can use them from time to time, if nothing else. There's a lot of work and a lot of talent there that I would hate to see go wasted and for the record to be altered. So, you know, that's just my request. Not sure why, you know, I figured that may have been the case because the way I read back the email I wrote to you and the way that I phrased it was not the most clear and communicative of the sentiment. And it almost seemed like I was annoyed. Right. And that's not the case. That was me just being kind of submissive and, you know, deferent to you and your abilities. Right. I like to keep things as pure as possible. Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I go, you never miss when it comes to these videos. It's always a good time. There's ones I like more than others, but I'd rather not even inject my opinion into your creative process because I like it the way that it is. Right. So even me injecting my opinion to me in that moment would be like altering your process and potentially giving you doubt. And here we are now. So my best efforts at trying to avoid getting you to doubt yourself and just kind of feeling like you got it and that I'm kind of really liking what you do resulted in you doubting and misinterpreting and then taking down the videos. So this is why, again, I stay away from most people. I don't interact more than necessary. And I try to be clear about what my sentiment is. And still, the opposite of what I intended apparently happened. It's really fascinating to me. So, you know, at the end of the day, again, I'm not going to take it personal. It will be kind of a shame to me and a loss if that content is not restored. But if you have your personal reasons for yourself why you're going to do that or not do that, you know, I can't overwrite that. I don't see the lodging in it. I don't see the sense in it. I don't see the purpose. It's on private. I'll put the videos back up out of respect for Paul and his audience. I may not be around for a while. Something's wrong with me. Well, this might be the result of being Talcott clip collection. You can imagine a guy who sits around doing nothing at times but clipping Jack Talcott's videos and then rearranging them. The man's probably gone mad. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, how could any human being
try not to talk about his personal stuff? Get to him, man. Just
yeah, no, this is why I didn't want him. I didn't want this to happen. The man's gone out of his mind by being subjected to Jack Talcott. I would hope that this wouldn't happen.
You're
but
still
even
playing around, just fall back.
All right, you shut the fuck up and don't tell me how to live my life and do a broadcast.
All right, you keep being a douche.
Yeah, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to try to make light of it because ultimately, if he doesn't want to talk about it, then I'm not talking about it. I'm attempting to make light of it. So what is your problem exactly? Because if he's not going to come up here and he's not going to talk to me privately or publicly on what the issue is, then I have to still do a broadcast and attempt to be in good humor and make light of it. Although there is a bit of a non-bit aspect going on there. Because I suspect the longer you listen to Jack Talcott, It's not prying into his business. His business is my business. My business is his business. We're in quote unquote business together indirectly.
Get the
Have we
hint.
not been tied into this broadcast for over a year and a half? Is there not an audience here? Is there not a whole bunch of content and sentiment and co-creation going on here? Or are you projecting your shit onto him?
Dude, you're insane, man.
I'm insane?
You show us every day.
Right. Okay. Well, then why are you here exactly? If I'm the insane one and you got it together, why are you here with me?
So I'm setting
Is
you
it
up.
possible that's you? Is it possible you and many others come here because you're insane? And maybe I have it a little bit more together than you on some level?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's not a competition, Paul. You always say that.
It's not a competition. You're right. So why are you challenging me, making light of something that obviously I have a sentiment and a care for? Obviously, I like the kid. Obviously, I care about him. Obviously, I said he's a genius when it comes to the creative aspects of this media. So why are you presuming to know what my care relationship is for or with him? And why are you presuming to know what I need to do next and what I need to say or not say?
Because you get carried away. You're too much at times.
I get carried away because I'm bringing up that watching Jack Talcott and clipping his videos might cause someone to kind of lose touch with themselves or reality.
Keep talking your way out of it.
I'm not talking my way out of it. I'll talk my way deeper into it while you tell me to talk my way out of it. What do I need to talk my way out of exactly, JG?
Kid's not going to talk about his personal shit. Get the hint.
It's not personal. How is it personal? How is content being created in public of a personal issue?
He's trying to let you know that it's him. He's having a problem with me.
Right. So if we're in public and he's going to say that in public, I'm supposed to go silent and not talk about it when he can communicate with me privately? Right. So there goes a runner. Another punk ass coward who can't make any fucking sense, wants to project onto me and our relationship. And then when I try to hold him accountable, he gaslights me that I'm trying to talk myself out of it and then runs. Typical.
Yeah. You did the exact opposite of what, because like when I heard that, I was like, oh man, I was gonna start yelling, come on up here, I want to hear it, I want more details. But you shifted the focus and started making it funny. I could be going crazy. And then JG's got to pipe up because he's so filled with resentment and fear that he can't address with you. He's got to put it on this issue instead of just talking about his resentment and fears with you.
Well,
he's been building up with JG, you can tell.
You got a lot of angry, insecure, fearful, bitter, jealous, envious folks who instead of just learning to love themselves or like themselves and find purpose and meaning and value day to day in certain moments and certain processes, they have this like constant stewing and percolation that goes on, and they're just waiting to act out on it.
Yeah, I sense that JG is having something like a similar kind of blockages in the same way. So he's trying to put himself in TCC's shoes and presuming that he doesn't want anybody to discuss it with him, which is a major presumption.
Yeah, but that's what we do here. Like I would like to talk to TCC. Like that's what we do.
That's what we do here.
Right, that's the point. We do fellowship here, and we have long-standing relationships, directly or indirectly, with folks here, and we have a generalized care, especially for certain folks here, right? So Gorilla Gems, TCC, Brian O'Shea, Timmy, even myself, I'm sure back the other way, folks have shown me that directly and indirectly, that we do have care for each other here. We do kind of enjoy the experience and the characters and the whole thing, right? And that there's a place kind of for everybody and their kind of persona and character, strengths and defects. So, it's kind of, it's a bit, I guess, not shocking, because I guess I shouldn't be surprised at anything at this point. I know myself, so I know others. But yeah, man, it's like, I guess it's just a cause for pause and reflection and a reminder that, you know, we all go through things at times, but that's what we're all here for, right? This can be a support system. You know, this can be a place to express and kind of vent and be heard and seen and felt, and, you know, likewise the other way. So if you're having that experience, don't just come here and make it all ha ha he he. We're joking around. We're going to do gossip and drama. Really fucking open up and have a conversation about what your thoughts and feelings are. Really do the fucking work. If not, then why even come here? Because there's going to come certain points in this where folks are going to have, you know, vicissitudes in their life and inner space, and then they're going to act out. If we don't have the conversations and folks are not going to be real and kind of take a therapeutic approach to this arena at times, then you're not going to do the work, and we're going to have issues with ourselves and each other. Right. So that's why I encourage folks to use the panel, not because I so desperately need content, because a lot of folks so desperately need an outlet. They need a place they can come to where they can talk to people who can relate to them in their walk. That's what this place is, along with many other things. Right. So use it for what you need it for. Don't presume that I have this rigid structure that has to happen. Part of the content non-tent here is it's a broadcast about nothing. We can take it wherever we want to go. There's a limited direction. I have a docket and stuff that I lean on at times or go to kind of fill time or to fill out the broadcast. But ultimately, this place has to be about the individual, the people, right? And then kind of joining together at times to have these conversations to create resolution and remedy, whether it's legal and lawful or psychological, spiritual, sociological. You know, it's all things and no things. You know, so use it for what you need it for. Do the work and get some remedy and resolution if it's available. Don't accept less for yourself and others.
Yeah, JG's had this resentment building up for a while. I could tell, man, because I struggle with that shit too. Like,
how's it resentment? You're just gonna dub it as
finish
resentment?
what I'm saying? Can I finish what I'm saying? So, like, when I go through my little emotional fucking things where you guys can clown them, and I'm clearly, like, it's clearly affecting me. I'm clearly getting triggered by it. But, like, I'm working it out though, right? Like, I'll go off on Paul sometimes. I'm trying to figure this shit out, right? But and then I see it in you, like, it's exactly like Timmy's saying. We all, like, some of us suffer from this shit. Like we'd be more on the self-doubting, self-sabotaging, and I noticed me and you, JG, we do the same shit. Like, Paul came out with a certain energy today where he was like addressing this thing, where addressing the exact issue that I feel like you and I deal with him, where we get in our feelings. And then sometimes he might go overboard, say, from our opinion, right? And today he's like, do I do that sometimes? I had this revelation with the Walmart. He's coming with a certain energy today. Could you not feel that energy? Or would it have been a good time, instead of like running from the broadcast, like clearly being in resentment, clearly not addressing the issue? It's not about Evan. What's going on with Evan? It's about you and Paul. So you need to talk to him about how sometimes he makes you feel like shit. He makes you feel like a piece of shit. I'm not saying that's what he does, but that's how you interpret it. You get very in your feelings.
No, dude,
for a very strong Philly guy, you get in your feelings a lot, just like me, a strong Chicago guy.
Look, I see what Paul does every day, right? He's talking about, oh, we got to be open with our feelings and try to help each other out. Blah, blah. Well, look at Paul. Look at what he does. When I say something, oh, I'm the bad guy, right?
Yeah, but
I watch Paul, man. I see how he carries himself, how he treats people. He's in the wrong many times. Yesterday, I said he was on. I watch him. I joke around, but at the same time, deep down, I know he's fucking up.
Yeah, but
I can sit back and look at him and see he's
right.
On
You
some
made
shit.
it all
He's
about me once again, like folks always do. Oh, we see how Paul treats people. What you guys don't do is look at how you treat yourselves in life, how you live your life, how you talk to yourself and others, what it leads to. What does your lifestyle look like? What's your inner space?
Now you're going to say, I don't see that.
I'm not the one who constantly has issues with other people and what they do and don't do based on my personal feelings. My only issues with what other people do are the hypocrisy, like you see with Mr. DeCastro and others that I point out. I'm not the one carrying myself through life bitter, angry, resentful, hateful at this point, insecure, projecting, rejecting. I'm not doing that at all.
Paul, you're like 300 pounds, dude. You actually fucking
It's
ashamed of
actually
yourself.
not true. I'm probably more around 250 at this point, but it really doesn't make a difference. I'm also 6'3", and yes, I have a bit of a stomach on me.
Yeah, and you constantly like.
How does that relate exactly? How does my weight relate exactly? How does my body type or my weight relate to this?
You're flawed.
When did I say I was not flawed? Again, this is another inferiority complex victim projecting superiority complex onto me. Do I go around telling people
to flip the script?
Do I go around telling people that I'm not flawed, or is the reason you know I'm 300 pounds because I make fun of my weight?
You're not
Do I make fun of my weight? Am I self-deprecating? Are you an inferiority complex projecting superiority complex onto me? The reason you know my weight is because I make fun of my own weight and my own self. What you folks obviously can't do is make fun of yourselves because you're too serious, you're too cool, you're too mentally ill and emotionally ill to have a good sense of humor about yourself and your life because you don't like yourself and your life. I have a pretty philosophical perspective and a pretty good sense of humor about my life, no matter what's going on, whether I'm getting what I want or not. So I think you need to take a good look at yourself and what you're doing and being and creating and stop projecting your dysfunction onto me.
You just
I wake up thankful and grateful and blessed at this point.
Bullshit, dude. Look at
I
you,
wake
man.
up thankful and grateful
Jewish
and blessed
manipulation
at this point.
games. You're acting like a goddamn Israelite.
You're talking over me. You're passive aggressive projection and childlike dysfunction.
That's
because you don't want to better yourself in your life. You'd rather just look around for how you got it all together, but Paulie needs to listen to you. Doubtful.
Look what you're resorting
Doubtful.
to, man. Like, come on.
Look what I'm resorting to. You should have kept your mouth shut and let me run my broadcast how I please. You're not going to tell me how to do. You're not going to tell me how to do mental and emotional health or do an entertaining broadcast when you're an angry, resentful prick half the time and you brag about beating people up on the streets who are twice your age.
I don't brag.
You're a violent, angry, hateful, bitter man. You wear sunglasses in the daytime. That tells me everything I need to know about you and your personality. Disorder. Okay? You don't want to be seen by the world. You're ashamed. You don't want to be seen by the world. That's why you wear sunglasses in the daytime everywhere you go. Because you don't want to be seen. You're ashamed of yourself and your life. You don't want to be looked into the eye by other people, and you don't want to look other people in the eye because you're guilty and ashamed. I don't have that problem.
Oh, he keeps muting me.
I'm not muting you. I'm not even touching the buttons.
Oh, he keeps muting me. This guy keeps muting me.
So you're pretending to mute yourself and blame me. This is interesting. JG doing a bit non-bit here in the middle of
Paul. You're not real, man. And I can see right through you.
I'm not real. You're not real. I'm as real as it gets, especially on here.
Nah.
Are you kidding me?
You're full of shit.
Well, if I'm not real, then who is?
Yeah.
When it comes to content creators,
you're not
if I'm not real, who is?
Oh, you wear sunglasses because you're ashamed. What is that right there? Well, what are you resorting to?
It's every person, like Jack Harlow. Every person I've met. Every person I've met who wears sunglasses in the daytime everywhere they go, subconsciously or consciously, is ashamed and guilty of themselves and their soul and their life. They don't want to look people in the eye, and they don't want to be looked in the eye. That's what I've experienced. You could say it's not real for you, but that's been my generalized experience. Why do I now not even own a pair of sunglasses? Because my eyes are the windows to the soul, and so are others. And I want to look everyone in their fucking eye when I meet them or when I experience with them. You don't think that I understand sub-psychology on a collective or individualized level? The last 4 years proved it. The majority of you slaves hate yourselves. You won't stand for anything. You're cowardly. You're weak. You project false strength because you know you're weak. You go around with an angry, bitter, resentful, non-care for yourself and the truth and others in life. And then you want to appeal to emotional dependency. You see how I treat people. Why? Because I don't appeal to their emotional attachment style. I'm the most truthful, loving, caring. I'm just not codependent. I'm not going to forsake my life and my experience for other people's wants and needs. You see how that works? It served me well over the last 4 years and pretty much over my whole life. It's what makes me who and what I am. It's why people see value in me and respect me, because I don't give a fuck about what anybody else wants or needs in this life more than myself, so I can be present for other beings in truth, not in emotion. It's called selfish to be selfless. It's called leading folks back to themselves, their true self, by example. Person, place, or thing is not going to complete you or make you in this life. Neither is the love of your mommy and daddy or anyone else. You got to have a love of truth, a love of self, a love of God. And you got to do what's true and what's right and surrender the rest. Your wants and your desires and your feelings are obviously deceptive at times, just like all of us are. And your need to be codependent with me and others and get validation is your problem while you present false strength, while you act like you're too cool for school, while you act like my opinion of you doesn't matter, but you get all emotional about it and pipe up because you know it does. You guys got serious self issues with your mommy and daddy, issues in your life, and you constantly project it onto me. I would know because I have the same. The difference is I'm aware of those issues and I try to direct them as much as possible to not be a burden to myself or others. I'm open to co-creating. I'm open to experiencing. I'm not open to being codependent with a bunch of folks who have these personality disorders and issues and think that I or someone else or something else is going to be the answer to their problems. It's all day, every day with you folks, and you think it's functional socialization. It's not, as far as I'm concerned. So
it's very confusing. Like, it's very confusing that like 98% of people that come up here, like, they can't just finish the conversation. Like, they can never actually get down to it and then sit, hold the space, hold their position, and then just like move on. It's incredible.
Yeah, I see so much of myself.
Can we get, he often contradicts like others, but he can't accept it. Right. And there we go with the label. I'm a narcissist. Would you please come up and explain to me, not from a chat box, what the narcissism is that I'm doing by explaining that I have my own wishes, my own purpose in life, my own countenance and practice that I wish to upkeep, right? Because I prioritize my own experience and my own wishes. Could you please explain to me why that's narcissism exactly? I should prioritize your wishes and everyone else who comes here into my life specifically just to get whatever they want out of me and with me. And when they don't get it, give me consequences or do passive aggressive war against me. Pretty sure that's the narcissism. Pretty sure the reason I've had to become the way I am is because I'm surrounded by them. If I don't set boundaries and intentions, if I don't hold to my wishes and what I want out of life and what I need, then everyone else and everything in my life is going to mislead me and control me and use me and abuse me. Hasn't that been clear? Hasn't that been made clear here on this panel? Hasn't that been made clear by my father's presentment on this panel? Hasn't that been made clear by Slow State and Slave Cot and all the rest of them? Pretty sure I'm the one who a lot of folks come here inspired by because I have practiced detachment and cut off my need to be validated by a bunch of other folks, even if I love and care about them or want to be with them. You're not going to misdirect me, control me in my life, set boundaries on me that overwrite mine, and presume to alter my wishes for yours. No, that's not what my life is about at this point. And that's why most people know me. Because if I did live that way, non-narcissistic, aka not faithful and confident in myself and what I'm here to do and experience, you wouldn't even know of me. You wouldn't even be here talking to me. It's amazing how a bunch of you weak-ass, codependent, projecting, rejecting motherfuckers call somebody who's confident and faithful and not willing to overwrite their truth with someone else's while being honest and direct a narcissist. That's not narcissism. I've never lied. I've never manipulated. I've never deceived. I've been real and true and open about my intentions and my results with everybody publicly and privately, down to fucking and everything else. So cut the bullshit. I don't make promises that I don't deliver on. That's narcissism. I don't manipulate and deceive. I don't say one thing and then do another. Just because I have love and care doesn't mean that I have to engage in codependency. Doesn't mean I have to waver on what I see as my journey and purpose in life for what other people see as my journey and purpose in life for with them. It's ridiculous. why a lot of you motherfuckers are in deceptive, manipulative, abusive relationships in your home and in your life, and you just tolerate it and accept it for some feeling instead of seeing it for what it's really about. Why are you flashing signs in the back like a child?
Oh, are you pissed off, Paul?
Oh.
You gotta
Are you
control yourself, man.
Are you projecting?
You gotta
because
control
I'm
yourself,
passionate
dude. You're
about-
insane.
Am I not in control right now? Did everything I say not have meaning? I'm pretty sure I was controlled and directed. My
What
energy,
you're doing is
whatever
doubling
energy
down.
and motion that
You
is,
double down.
I'm directing into speaking on certain dynamics. So was I not controlled
You're
in that
doubling
endeavor?
down.
That is narcissism. Yet your projections, why are you here, Hannah? This is what I love. You folks come here every day, call me a narcissist, but show up the next day in order to call me a narcissist. Is it possible that's you? Because I don't need you in my life. The narcissist is the one who won't leave. You guys won't leave when I ask you to, and then come here every day to project onto me who and what you are. You're trying to gaslight me and manipulate me and change my opinion of myself based on what you see, want, and desire. That's not how this works.
That's
So while
you.
you're
That's what
calling
you're
me
doing right now is
narcissist,
manipulating.
You're doing that
You're
behavior,
manipulating.
but you need me because you keep coming here every day. I don't need you here. The narcissists are the ones who don't respect boundaries and wishes, who show up when they're not wanted, who project onto other people what they should be when they didn't ask. That's you.
Hey, Paul, I hope you get real one of these days, all right?
You
Seriously.
guys don't understand. If you come to this broadcast, the whole reason to come here is for me to observe and report. So if you don't want that process, don't come here. Don't call me a narcissist because you can't alter my perspective that I have of you and of life. If you want to alter that perspective, conduct yourself in a different way or show me something different. Tell me something different.
Keep
But you're
doubling
not
down,
going to
man.
alter what my experience and perspective is because you want to come here and get the version of Paulie Boy you want to validate yourself and feel better about this broadcast or this experience. It's pathetic and embarrassing. You're the narcissist, not me. I have a will,
you.
a discipline, an intention, and an entertainment broadcast that I fulfill here daily. You folks suck off me, project onto it, have entitlement and expectations, and then when it's not met, you label me and call me things. Don't come here. If I'm the narcissist, you should know enough you can't treat a narcissist, and there's no way to work with them. So stop fucking coming here. You can't call me a narcissist on one hand and then say you're going to keep coming here to call that to me. Because what does that
So
make
why do
you
you try to
exactly?
help
It's
people?
not
Why do you
equalize
not
you with the
even
narcissist.
If
Or
you're
does
this
that make
insane
you a
narcissist,
victim
why
of the
do you do this?
narcissism? The
If you're
question,
this
why do
insane
I do this?
narcissist, why do you do
Because-
this?
Because I want to do this. This is what I want to do with my life. I want to broadcast every day. This is what I want to do.
Right,
Why
just
are you
with people's
here every
minds.
day? Think of the logic. He asks me why I do this every day, but doesn't miss a broadcast every day. Why I do this? Because you exist. Is that a better answer for you as you get thrown out of another public place? Another guy thrown out of a public place because he's arguing with a device, asking me why I do this. Why do I do this? Why are you here every day? Every question contains its own answer. Every problem contains its own solution. If you weren't here every day, I wouldn't be doing this. Fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all fear, dude. I mean, I'm absorbing a lot of this shit, dude. Like, I don't know if JG's getting anything out of it, but I know I am.
Hannah, listen. The link is down there. If you want to talk to me because you're here every day calling me a narcissist, come on up and have the interaction. I'm going to throw you out now because I don't need you. I'm the narcissist. You can't talk to me or treat me. So why be here, Hannah? Go off and find someone who's loving and caring and empathetic and codependent like you. And you can sit around and jack each other in a jack session with an actual narcissist who's manipulative, deceptive, fake, duplicitous, put on. Most of you folks' love and care is some emotional bliss space that you put on like a drug. And when it wears off, we're back to the passive aggressive projections and labeling, lack of discernment, hyper emotionalism. You guys are better off with Jack's slave cop. You'll sit in front of an actual manipulative, deceptive, power-hungry narcissist and say he's a loving, caring person, then come here and tell me I'm a narcissist because I speak harsh truth or what I see or experience to you, whether it's true or not. I'm telling you what I see and feel. Then you can rebut it or have the discussion about it.
And at the end of the day, you're saying words. This isn't even in real life. He's saying words, and people are getting butthurt and changing their tune and saying manipulation. These are just words. Like,
right,
how many fucking men?
Chat. Oh, coward. Yeah, you're a coward. You come here every day. You say I'm a narcissist, then won't even come on panel to point out how and why, as if you have some psychological or sub-psychological knowledge. Give me a break. Majority of folks can't find your ass with both hands, let alone do an analysis on me or let alone yourself, which is the most important thing. Can you do self-analysis? Because I'll go ahead and cop to it. If you want to say that I have aspects of what you would consider to be narcissism or egotism, we could get into that. We could do the self-analysis. Again, my track record and history shows quite the opposite. I'm far from a person in love with themselves and their own reflection. If anything, I, like you, have hated myself most of my life till I started to develop some level of self-worth, self-esteem, and self-value. And validation within self that led to verification from a peer group without. It's called hierarchy of needs. So, like, when we look at the track record, there's other examples of folks on here who embody that, like, full on, that narcissism, egotism, ambition thing for power and control and symbols of value in and of the world. I'm like the opposite of that based on my track record, just so we know here. Because if we're going to do the analysis, you got to take in somebody's track record, right? And like what the personality kind of archetypes are. So I haven't been an overly motivated, ambitious person. I haven't been an overly violent, controlling, domineering person. I've been an overly forgiving and submissive person, you could argue. There's folks who come here day after day and go, they can't imagine dealing with these same folks, dozens of them over and over for years, who just want to use, abuse, parasite, vampire, suck off of me. And I still try to love and care for them generally and forgive them for they know not what they do. Yet you want to accuse me of being a narcissistic egotist.
Hey,
because
kid,
I have certain wishes and boundaries and things I won't do.
I'm just showing. I'm calling you out. I'm just putting you on blast.
No, oh my God.
Dude, okay, Timmy, help him out. I'm going to hit the reefer because the tard thinks he's doing something.
JG, dude, can you delineate between, like,
nah, Timmy, I'm not engaging with your bullshit, all right? I seen how you went on Slash yesterday, all crazy. You got butthurt over nothing.
Can we fucking delineate?
I'm not engaging with you. Oh, you're fucked, dude.
I'm speaking now. I'm the co-host, so I'm talking now.
Paul.
All right, I'm going to throw you out then because I'm the fucking co-host. How about that? There seems to be like a deep scar. Like, most of these men come up here and they don't understand that there is some sort of leadership and direction. Holy shit. Insane concept, right? There's an order of things. So it's not just manipulation anytime a man says something and then makes a boundary, because that's what the fuck he wants. What do you think, JG?
Now you're digging on him. You're just riding his coattails. It's embarrassing, man.
No.
Like, you guys consider yourself men, but you're handling yourself like little fucking bitches, like little kids, weasels. Timmy the Weasel.
How is it weaselly to? How is it weaselly to have a conversation with TCC?
How?
Oh, please tell us. How is it weaselly?
Like, guys like you just double down. Guys,
I'm gonna throw you out again because you keep talking over me. Why? How is it weaselly to attempt to have the conversation with TCC to get some sort of resolution with him, for him, together? How is that automatically manipulation?
Bro, run it back and see the problem.
Can you
articulate fucking words out of me? You're not getting words out of me, you fucking bitch. Shut up. I already told you. Shut up. I see what you're doing. Shut the fuck up, man.
What am I doing?
There you go again. What am I doing? Shut the fuck up, Timmy.
What are you waiting for, JG? You sit around here.
I'm waiting for you guys to get real. Waiting for you to get real.
Okay, so
Tighten the fuck up.
You're waiting for everyone else to change themselves except not you. You don't want to do any changing.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. But not you, right? Yeah, I'm not working on myself. Look at you. Mess me up, man. You guys talk about these fucking white collar corporate people, but you're just a pussy like them.
Why are you hanging around here? What are you waiting for here?
You guys ain't men. You just play games like little bitches. You're not men.
How are we not men? Please articulate.
You play games like punks. Timmy, in real life, you're getting jacked. You're a fucking punk.
What game am I playing? What game am I playing with the men around me?
You're a punk, bro. You run your mouth. You're over dramatic.
If we were all in the room right now, I bet you wouldn't do anything physical because you know what's going to happen. Maybe that's what you want. You want to get put in the ground and have someone else do it instead of you off yourself.
Yo, Paul, try to put me in the ground. You're going to have Philadelphia coming right at you, man.
Yeah, right. I'm going to have Philadelphia. Another guy who's got a whole state riding for him. Yeah, right. Give me a break, dude. You're a legend in your own mind because you're mentally ill.
No, I'm a fucking legend because
you have
legends
no place
have
to go. You come here every day and then project on the people. When you're not getting along, you're in your bitterness and resentment because you got unfulfilled desires. You get thrown out of a public building once a day here. You got nowhere to go, nowhere to be, and no plan to create it. Put your sunglasses on, hide in public in front of everyone while you're unseen and unheard, and then come here desperately for validation.
That's your angle. You're not a man.
No, this is what happens with everyone in my life. They come into my life, they act like they're cool with me and us and what I do and what we do. And then over time, they get needs, wants, desires, entitlements, bitterness, resentment.
You fuck up.
They start projecting on me all the ways I didn't love them and need them like they loved and needed me and wanted to use me or manipulate me or change me into what would be perfect for them to be complete in life. You're all the same. It's why I spend most of my life in isolation or with a limited amount of people, because most people can't do a long-term relationship without changing the dynamic, without changing their wants, needs, and desires. If they don't get their wants, needs, and desires, they can't go on sharing space with someone or interactions or exploring without projecting and rejecting. Their bitterness, their resentment, their unfulfilled desires, their lack of actualization and realization, their impotence when it comes to finances and other aspects of their life and self. Give me a break. That's you. You folks are the narcissists. Coming into relationships, pretending to be one thing, and halfway in, it all changes and we meet the real you with all your wants, needs, desires that you didn't speak, that you don't live, and expecting it to come through someone else who you do superiority complex with because you don't really like yourself and you feel inferior. They do it to me all day, every day, to the point I can't even be my own person and have my own interactions with people with my own wants and wishes and desires without them trying to manipulate that, because I speak it up front. This is who and what I am. This is what I plan to do. This is what I see as a vision for me or us. And then I explain what's probably not going to happen. And it's totally fine till it's not. And then Paulie's an evil bad guy because he understands contracting along with expanding. If I'm going to do the green language there, you folks don't understand how to contract. You folks don't understand yourselves. You don't understand your own wants, needs, and desires and how to actualize and realize. And then when you don't get what you want, it's everyone else's fault except for you. Maybe you should learn how to think, feel, live, and act better and create better contracts and understandings with the folks in your life, starting with yourself, because all relationships in life extend off the one you have with yourself. Do you even know what you want and need? Do you even know what's going to make you happy, in quotes? Do you even know what it looks like to be an actualized, realized, empowered, self-sufficient, independent, financially free version of you? If you don't know what the fuck that is and looks like, don't expect to get it from, through, or with me, because that's not how this life works. And that's why most marriages end 50 to 80% in horrible divorce and court proceedings. Because you don't meet the real version of most of these bitches till you get halfway into a relationship. And I'll say the same thing about the males too, quite frankly. because I've seen the dynamic. So I contend the majority of the public are the narcissistic, manipulative, deceptive, duplicitous, cognitive dissonance suffering asylum cases that have no power and control over themselves, their future, and their life, and think they're going to get it somehow with me, from me, and through me without recognition of self and the truth. I don't think it's going to happen. And when it doesn't happen, they give me the predictable, resentful, bitter, controlling, domineering, abandonment response. Every single one of them. While they go off to their next bullshit relationship to use and suck and tell everyone how bad I and others were. Give me a break. This guy has issues. Says a person who comes on with that picture, whether that's you or not, tells me everything I need to know. If that is you, tells me everything I need to know. If it's not you, tells me everything I need to know. Amazing how they project. This guy has issues. Okay, I'll cop to that. Paulie Boy's got some issues. Now, would you like to do the mirror inverse reflection therapy? Would you like to come up and talk about your issues, or better yet, display them and show them? You're damn right I have issues with a majority of a race that doesn't give a fuck about consciousness, awareness of self and the truth, what's true and what's right, what's beneficial for self and a collective, and goes around all day making judgments and condemnations on other who got it going for them on some level. I think it's fascinating. It's not an issue I have. It's a fascination I have. I'm fascinated by interpersonal consciousness, awareness, and human dynamics and conditions. Can't get enough of observing and reporting on it, including myself. Your thoughts, Brian O'Shea, Lewis, or Timmy? JG is now back. JG is gone. He's back. He's gone. He's back. He's gone. Because he can't attain a stable connection to the internet, and he can't attain a stable connection to God and himself and the truth. Usually they're one and the same.
Brian?
Yeah, man, this is fucking fascinating. What? No, I'm just getting a lot out of it, dude. I don't give a fuck about all these other idiots. Like, dude, I'm in this fucking small town, not working, feeling like shit. But I see the similarities, like with whatever's going on with TCC, whatever's going on with JG, you know, and these other people. It's like the way we self-sabotage, or the doubt and the resentment and shit. Like,
because mommy and daddy didn't love us. And instead of you directing all that fucking bitterness and fear and pain and abandonment issues into your fucking purpose and creation and art and business in life, you're going to direct it on people, places, and things, including Paulie Boy, because he's in your face lately. And when he's not, you'll have another thing to direct it at. Give me a break. This is so archetypal and cliche at this point. It's obvious. Majority of folks who are drawn to me for a reason. They are the same self. They have the same background and history. The way Timmy was talking about his father, it was uncanny. That's why we have the sense of humor we have. That's why we see it for what it is. We grew up in it and around it. It's probably aspects of it are in us. So we seek to look at it in us and in others, and then try to direct it as best as possible to something beneficial and productive for self and others. If not, then we attempt to try to surrender and let go in faith, is what it seems to me. So there's a reason folks are drawn here. They got broken home history. They got mommy and daddy issues. Their mother and father was a mind and heart controlled, abusive slave to themselves and others. Can't know up from down or right from wrong objectively, didn't teach any objective logic, morals, or ethics. And you got a bunch of folks who've been spit out from a toxic, broken home into a toxic, broken political corporate system. So it's no wonder why they're drawn here. We're one and the same. The difference is I recognize all of it and I seek to right it or correct it or at least understand it, while they're oblivious. They don't even know why they're drawn here. They think it's because I'm a lol cow. We're going to laugh at Paulie Boy. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, they're laughing and giggling while subconsciously they're writhing in pain because they know what the fuck I'm saying is true on some level, and they don't have any answers to it. So rather than seek answers, we're going to do coping mechanisms 101. Get the humor out for all the broken folks who can't talk about themselves and their family and future honestly. Get out that humor as a coping mechanism. We're going to need it. A lot of folks on here need therapy, and I'm an ad hoc version of that. I'm a trailer-dwelling gorilla who smokes reefer, but I've spent a whole lifetime observing myself and other selves and reverse engineering the system's dynamics, applying and correlating other information from past great people, you could say. Right? So I'm not necessarily pulling a lot of this out of my ass. A lot of this is observably true. It's cause and effect related. It's objective logic in a sense, if it's not intuitive on some level. Go ahead, Timmy. I saw you unmuting there.
I was just coughing. Yeah, man. No, it's you got folks are. It is really a mass coping situation. The folks they don't want to do better, and every fucking time you ask these folks, hey, you're throwing some rocks from your glass hovel at me, so do me a favor. If this is good faith, if your rocks are in good faith because you're trying to show me something better, can you explain to me what's better than this? Can you explain to me what a man is? Can you explain to me? No, they can't. Deflect. That never gets to it. What is a man? What is he supposed to do? How are you demonstrating that? And they can't do it.
It's supposed to make me feel safe, not address the objective logic and truth, cause and effect, or the system's dynamics that may challenge me and my beliefs. No, a man's role here is to make me feel safe in all ways, even if it comes down to bullshitting himself and me and everyone else to get there. The weapon of mass cope. That's what media has become. Like every other thing in this society. Like the drugs, the alcohol, the pharmaceuticals, the action movies, the Netflix, the sporting events, the fucking crypto even. It's all a mass cope. Because they just don't want to address the real facts of the matter. Your financial system is built to fail any fucking time now. Your religious system's a complete human trafficking, pedophilic fraud. Your political system's one and the same with your religious system. You just don't want to fucking actualize and realize like what's actually happening here and what's created it. You know what's created it? Ironically enough, your failure to actualize and realize and be conscious and aware of systems dynamics. So me speaking on these truths that happen to be true for me, so I presume are true for all ourselves, because I can't see it any other way, are exactly what we need to be addressing right now. And it's the one thing that's the most triggering that everyone wants to run from. Just like when it comes to the legal and lawful, what is happening and what needs to happen next? Shut up, Paulie boy. We don't give a fuck about dual jurisdiction and the etymology and the words and terms and phraseology and the history from the beginning of time. Shut up with your pimping and hoeing bullshit rap. We'd rather just pay the tax and vote again and complain to our officials and do content online about how mean the police are. Just another mass fucking cope. Because you don't want to nut up to the fact that you're going to have to do and be and reform yourself and create a new world and reality here. Or you're going to suffer and die and blame other people and make weak ass excuses and justifications. That's the theme, folks. It's called personal responsibility and accountability. In truth, using faith. After you've done the next right thing. There's no other modality in systems dynamics that's going to apply and work here as far as I can see. Any takers on trying to rebut that? Any takers on all you delusional, freakish, narcissistic, collectivized folks who want to gaslight me that I am, that is not am, and is not the way? That I don't have ability to free travel despite what anyone does to my fucking body? That I don't have an ability to speak freely? That I can't be who and what I'm meant to be because there's a bunch of other emotional, codependent, hypersensitive freaks out there who are going to tell me and show me something's going to happen to me if I don't.
Bro, just accept the cope. Like,
yeah,
you're one of like 100,000 podcasts out there, and like you shouldn't have one where you just like
Right.
claim that you're outside of the slavery.
Why should
You
I
shouldn't
view
claim that.
myself with any value or inspiration or empowerment like many others do and get value? Why should I value myself like others value me? Crazy
Because
thought, huh? Joe Rogan's out there. Yeah, Joe Rogan, he's totally not a manipulative, deceptive, egotistical, narcissistic fuck who doesn't stand for a motherfucking thing other than putting dumbass fans in headlocks to try to look tough and cool. Yeah, I'm the one, right? We got Jordan Peterson out there doing a podcast right now. You can go, he's totally not egotistical, narcissistic, deceptive, cognitive dissonant freak, inauthentic corporate male. No. Paulie boy. Who else do we have out there who's going to do a podcast today that millions of the freaks are going to go watch and be abused and vampired and sucked off of and entertained while they all go deeper into slavery and genocide and fascism and do not a motherfucking thing about it, except call the people who are doing something about it egotistical narcissists? Give me a break. You guys are confused. You're in inversion land. You think up is down and down is up. The real is fake and the fake is real.
Yeah, everyone's slaves. Like, just accept it. Just like lol about it. Just be a lol cow, laugh about it. Everything's shit. This is a hell realm. We're all doomed. There's nothing to be done. Just accept the cult, Paul. Just accept the cult that everyone's a miserable worm, piece of shit, not built by God. No, this is just by random chance. There's a big bang happened 5 million years ago, and then that's how all of this was created by random. There's nothing harmonious in the universe. That's not true. It's all random chance. You evolved out of a fish. Just accept it. You're a miserable asshole worm like me. Please accept it. Because then I don't have to do anything with my life, and I can continue on panels and government assistance and slave mart. Please accept my misery.
Right. You know how many folks tell me how much they love me, and then like it gets revealed, whether they're aware of it or not through our interactions, they don't even love themselves and their land and their family and the truth. You can't love me. You just got some feeling about me. And as soon as I don't do what the fuck you want or what you like, that feeling changes. And so does your behavior toward me. Who's the narcissist again? It's day after day with people. You have no idea. I don't even talk about half the shit I deal with in private. Folks who I have care for, have feelings for, want to interact with, experience with, who regularly keep a hook in me and keep me around and interact with me, but don't go all the way because they're a fucking coward. And they think I don't see right through it. They don't even love themselves, their country, the truth, God, their land, and they expect me to believe they're even capable of loving me. So if you know and I know you're not really capable of loving me, why keep the hook in me? Take the hook out, go your own way, and learn how to love your fucking self again. Learn how to love the truth again. Learn how to not be a fearful coward and take a fucking chance, because life's a motherfucking gamble. It's called being open to new versions of self and new experiences. Stop trying to convince me you got an answer for me when your experience and your behavior and the way you approach conversation and truth about yourself is abominably lacking. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. There's no other way to put it. How many folks have a deceptive, disempowered emotional state and then go around masquerading as intuitive? You're broken and you need therapy. And quite frankly, I don't even really want to be the one to have to do it. I'm not Mr. Wannabe Life Coach. This is something that's almost been thrust upon me as I've chosen a walk. So it seems I chose it not knowing what it was going to be, and it chose me back. And what it looks like is I can't co-create with most people because we got too much work to do in the way. To undo all the past trauma and abuse and lack of self-worth and esteem, to where the slightest little thing, bump in the road in their life or comment, throws them completely off course in their emotional codependence and hypersensitivity and inferiority complex. Get a fucking clue and get a grip.
Those things outside of the car dealerships, the thing that just like go, that's how most people are. They're just like this. You know,
right, and they don't understand my purpose in this is to shake the cage, to drum up whatever's inside of you you're not addressing and won't address. And even when shit gets really bad, you come up with some delusion about how it's going to get better or why it happened. That's my purpose here, among other things. I have to shake the cage at times. I have to cause a level of self-reflection for self and others. I have to force the conversation of what are we doing and not doing that needs to be done. If you want to have it with me, we can have it. Again, JG and others like to pretend they don't know that I'm overweight because I've talked about it. And there's more that I could do to probably correct that and change that. And at times I don't. There's your accountability. It's just kind of weak to default to me being overweight anytime you're hypersensitive and insecure about everywhere else in your life. You're a fucking lacking failure. You want to default to I'm overweight. Okay, let's talk about everything else now.
Nope, run.
Right. Because it's easier to just pick the one thing that, you know, is like evident and obvious that I've even talked about and been self-deprecating about and have a good sense of humor about. Ultimately, we're just going to default to that. Paulie Boy's fat. There you go. They'd have done the same thing with Buddha on the side of the road, right? Thousands of years ago. Buddha, you're talking about self-reflection and practicing detachment and observing oneself independently in order to create a new self and be reborn in truth and alignment with a higher order. You're fat. I'm going to go now. Okay. Great stuff. That's what Buddha's going to tell you on the side of the road in the fucking robe. Great stuff. I'm going to go light up another bowl of hash.
I'm going to take it back to where this all got started. Like, TCC, I want you to come up here, man, and talk about what the fuck's going on, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Right,
man?
I've been waiting for that, but see, the broken child JG was too busy not getting attention for him, so he had to make it all about him with negative attention. He had to project on the TCC and then make this whole last hour and a half about him, and we've completely lost touch with what the original topic was. TCC having some issues with himself and some problems that we wanted to address if he was willing. Nope. It's about how JG didn't get loved as a child and how daddy needs to focus on him and love him while he won't even let me.
It's about his fear of seeing himself in TCC, of his self-doubt, of him basically doing what I suspect TCC's doing is just self-sabotaging, being self-doubt.
Why are they running these narratives now? Paul can't produce kids. I've never finished inside of a woman. I've never attempted to produce children. I've had women tell me to finish inside of them and I leave. I don't. And we can analyze that, my intimacy issues. We can analyze my mommy issues and issues surrounding my childbirth. Yeah, I have a high level of sensitivity when it comes to intercoursing because I know it leads to procreation. And I'm not willing to bring up another child the way I was brought up or lack thereof. So I'm very careful about how I intercourse. It's not that if you, again, you said this yesterday, if you're aware of something I'm not, please let me know about what medical institution or what test you did so I can get that information. I'm not aware that I can't produce children. I am aware that I've never tried, nor have I wanted to with the beings who've come forth who I've been dating or interacting with. Didn't seem like it was appropriate at the time. So I don't know why you would take pictures of me and some woman that she took of me and then try to equate. I think you're talking about, I was thinking of this in bed last night. I go, who is this person? They must know the woman Kendra, who's the woman who came up here, the woman in that picture. They must know her somehow. And they must not have the story right. I think that you got the story mixed up. There's a man, and we can ask her, named Anthony, who she interacted with. She lied and cheated with me, with him, and then came to me to tell me to stop him from beating her up. So I had to go down there like the daddy I am after finding out a woman was lying and cheating on me and show objective love and care while also telling her in front of him, you're a goofy, lying, cheating bitch, and you're a fucking coward. You can go ask them both because that's what happened, right? Because again, whether or not I thought she was a lying, cheating skunk or not had nothing to do with the fact that he had no business putting hands on her. And no, I didn't threaten him. And no, I didn't sacrifice my freedom to try to simp on her. I just told him, listen, she's a goofy, lying and cheating bitch. I got no respect for her. You're a fucking coward who's putting your hands on a lying, cheating, goofy bitch who's fucking with me while she's lying to you. Okay? So I suggest you not put hands on her anymore and go your own way. And then I told her, you know, we're going to go back to the house, and then however we're going to figure this out, we're going to figure it out. And then what it amounted to was she wound up getting the fuck out of there and telling me she'd be back. And, you know, quite frankly, at that point, you know, that far in, you love and care for someone, you're bonded with them, so you'd like to see it work. But ultimately, subconsciously, if not consciously, you pretty much know it's fucked and it's over. Right? So you're talking about him. He's the one who was beating on her. He's the one who got her pregnant and then she had a miscarriage. He can't have children, apparently, because he's an alcoholic. That's not me. I've never beat a woman, never put my hands on a woman in anger. Okay? And I've never attempted to try to produce children, finding out that I can't. So you should probably, if you are a friend of hers and she's told you about past exes or bozos, you might want to get the story straight. Because that's him. That's not me.
People make shit up too.
Yeah, it's like JG's like, oh, Paul, he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to go there, dude. Like, just ease off, bro. It's like, what the fuck? What do you come here every day? You don't know what the fuck we do around here? Like, you're from Philly, dude? What the fuck, man? Like, Paul, you're being a little hard on TCC, bro. Like,
by the way, yeah, that's another woman who follows what I do, messages me month to month, keeps a hook in me, asks me for money that I don't give her. I mean, you know, do we really even need to get into this? Because that woman also came on this panel when I wasn't expecting it and really had nothing but good things, to say about me. So, like, we could just tell it as it is, you know? I mean, it's not about humiliation. I've said it in the past. I have love and care for Kendra. It still bothers me the way everything went down and how it ended. You know, I'm really at this point just looking to kind of move on with our lives. She says she's happy. She's with a man, has a child now. She says she's happy, but she still watches what I do. She's still been in the chat. She's come up here. She said some good things. I'm not really quite sure completely what her motivation is or what she even really ultimately wants with me or from me. You know? So it's, again, I'm not here to insult her or disparage her. We were both broken, lost, confused people. We had issues with our mothers and fathers. Okay? My mother wasn't in my life. Her father wasn't in her life. At that time, I was just coming off heroin and was on heroin when she met me. A lot of shit going on there. A lot of pain, a lot of brokenness, lack of employment on my part, steady. You know, a lot of issues that, quite frankly, I don't know if I'll ever completely get over or, you know, to do with my mother. There might always be some residual trauma or effects there, you know, so stuff that I may not even be able to be in touch with. But ultimately, you know, where I was then and where I am now seemingly is quite different, you know, in the way that I carry myself, in the self-talk that I have, in the life that I live, you know, my commitment to this broadcast and to the audience and to the community and the work that I do, or the entertainment aspect. You know, I get up every day with some level of meaning and purpose and value for myself in life. I get up with some level of light for myself and my life and what I do, you know, and care for others. And a wish to, if I can't come here and give fellowship or facilitate, to entertain and maybe, you know, lighten the mood and allow folks who may be at work or dealing with some issues to get a laugh, you know, and to maybe, quote unquote, cope with the humor of how certain aspects of themselves and their life are maybe not what they'd want it to be. Because I know I've been there most of my life. So yeah, I just don't see it at this point. You know, am I the most romantic person? Absolutely not. Am I the most emotional person in the sense of when I meet a woman, you know, I'm not going to sit around talking about everybody's feelings all day long. If it's absolutely necessary and we're living under the same roof, then we do that. I become a facilitator all over again, a leader in my own right, if I'm able to. Right. But ultimately, you know, my life's pretty simple at this point. I seem to know who and what I am, what I'm not. I seem to know on some level what my purpose, meaning, and value is here and what I'm here to do. And I seem to be able to, more often than not, surrender the outcome and the rest beyond what I can control, and try to just do the next right thing and plan for the future, and then be open to what happens in the meantime and responding as best as I can and being accountable. You know? So, yeah, I really have no complaints with me in my life. And at one point, I hated me in my life. So I'm really not interested at this point what other folks who I don't know intimately, who don't live with me, who don't experience with me, who are not willing to really be honest with themselves about me and be open. I really don't give a fuck what you think about me or want from me. I can't. If I lived that way, you wouldn't know of me. Thoughts, anyone? I'm doing a lot of talking here. I guess that's what we come here for. It's weird for me, but I guess it also is a source of catharsis. You know, it's a bit of a therapeutic venting effect for me as well. Go ahead, Lewis, Timmy, Brian, take over, please.
I just came up to mention my failure. If you notice, my moniker has changed. It's called Papa Failure, Slave Bitch. Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah, it's interesting how Trump brings that up down there. And I don't know if he's ragging on me or he's pointing something out. If you want to call it narcissism, well, that might just be who and what I am. It's kind of why I brought up this pimping archetype, because I've noticed that my version of love and care is different from the average person's. They'll lie to their wife. They'll cheat on them. They'll fucking pay for shit in order to establish their values so they can be valued in order to establish a control pattern, right? I don't do any of this shit. That's not my version of love and care. My version of love and care is telling you I can't cheat because I can't lie. You have to do one to do the other. Cheating only comes with lying. See, contracting is when you say, this is who and what I am as a man. I'm not monogamous at this time, and I got to honor that until that changes. And I'm not going to buy you shit and bullshit you and lie to you in order for you to accept me and have a certain level of appeal or power or control over you. That's a different kind of love and care. It starts with love and care for self. And what looks like love and care for self and confidence in the truth oftentimes looks like narcissism for other folks who lie or want to be lied to. So absolutely, you're right. A pimp's love is very different from that of a square. Because at the end of the day, I care about the truth. I care about where we're going in this movement as a collective, right? I care about being the most honest and authentic version of me and learning the game of life through firsthand experience. I'm not interested in living it the way everyone else on the block is living it. All the squares, as you put it, voting, paying tax, lying to themselves and each other, pushing a whole bunch of poisons and toxins. And again, when we talk about the pimp archetype as far as love and care goes, it has nothing to do with gorilla pimping, beating, lying, drugging, and it has nothing to do with selling pussy either. So this is an overlay of a psychological, sociological dynamic where there are some men who their love and care looks a lot different from the love and care of maybe what your daddies looked like that you thought was real love and care. That was really just emotional attachment, codependency, lack, loss, abandonment, fear based. It's not true love and care. It's not faith. And that's just my contention. What they keep claiming is narcissism is actually true love and care and faith, and it's stoicism. It's the opposite of the romantic, emotionally based, codependent, false love and care you folks are used to. The same false love and care Jack Talcott uses with his family and people online. The same false love and care your politicians push down your throat and up your ass while they're fucking you and using you and parasiting off you because they can't just fucking keep it real. See, they know your psychology just like I do. They can't keep it real for one reason. You won't take what's real and true. So they gotta bullshit you and lie to you and pimp on you. When you meet a broken hoe, ask the political pimps, they know what to do with you. Break you and lie on you and pimp on you and suck you dry and cast you out. See, if I'm a pimp, I'm the righteous pimp because I'm the one, I know the game, I have the criminal mind, and I use all that knowledge for good because I tell it, I don't sell it. This is who and what I am. This is who and what they are. This is the game. This is how it works. This is where you're going to go if you don't tighten up. That's what true pimping was supposed to be. It's called broken or fucked up people some way, somehow, who are on a path, who meet each other, who wind up getting together in a dynamic to work themselves the fuck out of it. That's what true pimping originally was. You weren't bringing women into that life. You were taking them out of it because you're born into it, just like slavery and genocide. The pimp and the hoes born into that culture, whether they like it or not. So the man, the honorable man, whether he's a pimp or not, through his firsthand experience and growth and maturation, learns as a man, my role in life is to be daddy. What does daddy mean? It means I'm not supposed to be pimping on these bitches. I'm supposed to be leading them, guiding them, protecting them, and giving them an understanding that they can leave me with and go out into the world and become and do better. That's the misunderstanding from what I came to studying this pimping that they don't understand. It wasn't about bringing women into that life. It was about the realization that we were never meant to be in this life to begin with. So it was about taking self and them out of that life. So you can't make a judgment on the people involved in that. That's God's work. Just like you can't make a judgment on the fucking slaves who've been born into slavery and genocide, meeting other lost, confused, broken motherfuckers who may have some bit of an answer or an experience or true enough that they can give them so we can all level up and get ourselves the fuck out of this arena and this venue and do better, be better, and have better. Again, a pimp with no women. You're not listening. You're focused on the egotistical, worldly bullshit and trying to compete with me about it. I don't call myself a pimp in the sense of a ladies' man. That hasn't been my walk. You know it and I know it, and I've been open about it. I'm talking about pimping in the idea of leadership that starts with self. I'm talking about pimping with the idea of self-mastery that starts with self. Get it? Talking about pimping when it comes to the idea of fellowship, a group communal dynamic that's headed by the man, that has multiple women involved as a support / co-creational system. And I'm not talking financially either necessarily, because I don't need that at this point. I don't need a woman's money necessarily out of manipulation, deception, or even generally. If I have to, I could go back to working as I did before. At this point, the good pimping, proper instruction motivates people, makes it such that I am that am, the value, the truth, the light, the way, on some level, not completely. So it makes it such that women out there see that and feel that and respect that and resonate with me so they contribute to me in this broadcast. That's value for value. So the dynamics are very similar, but they're not the same, because I'm not talking about being a womanizer necessarily, or a ladies' man, or using women in order to get financial status. I'm talking about leadership within oneself and in certain venues. And I'm talking about self-knowledge that can be used to give to other people so they can have a change in themselves and their life and have a different level of control over themselves and their outcome. The same reason we talk about legal and lawful and at the courts. The whole world is pimping and hoeing philosophically. You just don't know it. And you keep wanting to pigeonhole when I talk about pimping to selling pussy and manipulating women. That's not what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about what the structure is and what the overlay and the psychology is. That the love and care of a true stoic man and leader who practices self-mastery is not the same as the love and care of a square citizen slave. You get it? The same way the love of Christ was more of a pimp's love in leadership and self-knowledge than it was romanticism, simping and tricking, emotionally based. Remember? That's what the fuck I'm talking about. The tards can't get out of their low-level consciousness and deviance. It's precisely why I chose the moniker pimpin', because I knew that it would get you all fixated and triggered so that I could then expound on the conversation, the understanding, and the dynamic. You may not be able to comprehend it, but it works for what I started it for, which was indirect marketing and promotion. Because I know sex sells. I know a lot of you folks subconsciously have a fixation and obsession with the idea of being ladies' men and being men in charge and being a leader. I know you do, because every man does. You could argue it's necessary. You don't live it. You won't explore it. You won't understand it. but I'm sure you're fascinated by it or compelled by it. It elicits some emotion and response from you. So I did my job. I understand you better than you understand yourself. I also understand me. So I know what I'm interested in, what I'm fascinated in. I know what I've experienced and come up around. And I know I spent hours at one point talking to African Americans about the game of life and how finances work, how conscious and awareness works, and how men and women interpersonal relationships work. And pimping and hoeing would always come up because it's part of philosophically, psychologically, sociologically, every dynamic, because it comes down to two things: power and value. There's false power and false value, and there's true power and true value. So that's the differentiation between proper instruction motivates people to do and be and have better and have more control over themselves and the outcome of their life versus pimping and hoeing, deception, manipulation, abuse, selling body parts and objectifying a woman for pay. Not what I'm talking about, not what I'm about, not what I do, not what I speak about here. Right? So please, in life, learn how to compartmentalize at times, learn how to delineate and differentiate, learn how to recognize somebody's genius in their own right, to be able to correlate and make connections across a vast field of inferences. Does that make any sense, Tammy? Anything that I just laid out for the slaves to help their confusion? Because I did say one day when the first channel was shadow banned and ragdolled, I'm going to turn it up a notch. Because I recognized anyway, it wasn't about legal and lawful in the courts and all the rest of it. It was about the psychological, the sociological, the thoughts, emotions, actions, inactions, responsibility, accountability, interpersonal dynamics, codependency, psychology, subpsychology. That's where we had to start in order to get to a being who could then take on the task of presenting at court the differentiation between legal and lawful, right? Yeah, you got to have 100%. A true love and care for yourself and what's right and have a conviction beyond the romanticism and the emotional appeal and the codependency and the fear and insecurity.
Yeah, and then there's a nice synchronicity here today. You have Austin saying, just got out of detox. And yesterday he was giving you some credit for him, you know, I guess doing whatever he's doing and making himself better and reducing or eliminating his addiction, right? So you have a perfect example of just what's going on here and what's happening here. And here's a dude that's making himself better. And we've got multiple examples of this. It's almost like every day somebody else says something similar, right? And isn't that precisely what's happening here with the men discussing and then doing everything you just said on that 5-minute rant? And it gets results. Some folks will choose to listen and execute. And
he's a narcissist because he wants to do and be and have better for himself in different ways.
Yeah, look at the opposite, right? So what's the opposite? You got multiple drunks around folks you guessed it, live without fear, right? Drunks just sit around and nobody says anything to them. Or all these other places where the host is the fucking drunk and he's a fucking, idiot. And nobody says shit to these people, right? Isn't that complete inversion land? Complete fucking inversion land.
It's about love and acceptance, Timmy. It's about love and acceptance and ignorance to what needs to happen because we're not responsible and accountable. It's really just about getting deep into your feelers and just feeling like everything's okay. As long as we're all kind of doing whatever we want and getting what we want and following the codes and policies and getting our little addictions and fixes, everything's okay.
And then, those people would say, would agree on some level about, there's other people doing moral relativism, right? Okay, fine. That's morality. Some of them seemingly moral, right? But those people are doing ethical relativism where they're Sky Daddy's going to handle everything. I don't have to do shit. If O'Shea's being a bitch up here and saying untruths, I don't have to correct him. God will. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be in my misery.
Yeah, we don't have a voice. We're not a stand-in for the Most High. We're not like avatars for God in a sense. where we're supposed to be used by that force to speak the truth and stand on it. No. You know, we just accept everybody. We love them. We see the highest good in them. We avoid where they're harming themselves and everyone else. And we call that love. Just falsely empowered codependency. Some others might call it. We call it love and light, seeing the highest good and just being completely in ignorance. We thrive off of our lack of discernment for true value. It's what makes us who and what we are as good people. Just the complete lack of adherence to discernment and true value. That's what makes us good.
And then they no pointing each other out to how they can do better and say, look, I did X and got Y results. What do you do about that? How do you do that? No, it's just, let's point at something that we're never going to even discuss. Oh, there's capitalism bad. So I'm going to talk about something like what you're not doing shit to even get there. It's always pointing at other
while
shit.
We come online, talk nonsense for an hour, and then accept $20 if someone gives it to us, which is literally the bottom rung of capitalizing. You're like, there's a whole bunch of other broken, lost, confused, broke people like me. I'm going to get on here and appeal to their emotional needs, create a false bond with them, say capitalism and money's evil to appear self-righteous, and then accept payments because I can't pay for my own shit or create any value.
And then go to Slave Mart, and then go to all the other versions of Slave Mart and give all of their energy, time, and attention to the ones that they say are quote unquote evil or bad or wrong. And then they're just, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I think a lot of people misinterpreted yesterday when I was getting on Sly. It's like, what is this? Can we, like, are we going to elevate out of Slave Mart? Or it's just like, I'm good. I can afford food at Slave Mart. Maybe that's just me though. That's the angle I'm coming from. I'm like, yo, can we elevate? Can we make our own Slave Mart? Can we make our, not Slave Mart, right? But can we make our own? Is there the community grocery store that one of the community people run?
Forget about mutually beneficial relationships where everyone grows and appreciates in value and knowledge of self and sort of responsibility and accountability. No. We want to replicate the same dysfunctional relationships we had with our parents from the inverse perspective. All we need is love, brothers and sisters, some codependent, feeling-based attachment style that never winds up in any of us growing, learning, becoming better, having more, doing better, being better. No, we're just going to fill this obsession and fixation of all the love that we have to give and need that we didn't get and need when we were children. It's just that they think there's empowerment and virtue to this. I go, could you stop with the codependent, draining need for love to give it and receive it because you're just unhealed? Like, once you are love and true care, there's no more need for like constantly injecting it into everyone or sucking it out of everyone. You just live that and be that. And then it comes to mutually beneficial relationships where we can attain value and levels of true power and co-creation together. We can't do that second part if we spend the whole time sucking and injecting this false love and codependent emotional need.
And yo, watch what happens when the fucking infrastructure of Babylon collapses around these fucking people. When my squatting house
and each other, literally and figuratively.
Well, my squatting house is gone, and maybe my $300 payment from the government is gone, and I'm out in the fucking. You know, where's love gonna be then with these fucking folks? Nah, they're gonna get real animalistic real quick. And maybe we should think about that now. Nah. All we need is love, right, brothers and sisters, and say praise God like it fucking means something to you.
Yeah, they're gonna be watching people. They're gonna be murdering people themselves, or just watching murder and just complete fucking chaos. And they're just gonna be like.
That's why, those are the most dangerous people in the first place, because they say there is no morality in the first place. Those are the motherfuckers. Like, sometimes some of the people that come up here, I'm like, you're the most dangerous person around because you don't have any morality, and you've clearly shown, and you're saying that. And you're the one with the
actual system of principles or faith or true value. Their whole system of ideology is based on what they feel. That's the most dangerous person. The codependent, desperate, falsely empathetic, feeling-based individual whose feelings often deceive them. Because as soon as that feeling changes in their desperation and needs, they start acting out because they have no rigid or static set of principles or values or understanding.
Thoughts, Brian?
Right. It's like a true king would be a masculine king, but then you get these other kings, these bad ones that develop over time, and they get real femininized, right? So it's like this whole transgender thing. It's like if women, yeah, it's all a feelings thing. It's like a feeling-based woman was running shit. That's kind of what they want. Like everything that you're saying, everything to be about feelers.
It's supposed to be harmonized, man. It's hard to be a good king. A good king is supposed to lead with logic and maintain morality as best he can. So at times you have to do masculine, logical, forceful, quote unquote, things to maintain the good morale, the good order and morale. Like cities used to be good places as far as I understand, with good laws in place, instead of just absolute chaos and barbarous, animalistic, like raping and killing outside the city gates. That's what it was supposed to be. A tyrannical king has no feminine care, but a good one, a good leader, is understanding that he has that care within him, and it's not. He's acting in trust for the people. Like, people don't understand. The king is at the bottom in a fucking upside down triangle like this. The king's at the bottom with the most titles, the most responsibility, and the most to lose. His life, if he fucks up, at any time that people can remove him. That's how it's supposed to be.
Familiar. That's why when I do the God King simulation, I go, you guys don't even understand what a philosopher king actually was and is. It's the guy on the bottom, in the front, leading from the front with the most sacrifice and the most to lose. And as soon as the people don't like him or think that he's not doing a good job or doing what's true and what's right, even if they don't like him, they have to believe he's doing what's true and what's right to himself and to God. As soon as the people think that that's not who and what that being is, it's off with his fucking head. So proclaiming yourself to be king or someone else proclaiming you that is really more responsibility and obligation and accountability with understanding than it is some glorious event. Oh, look at me. In a way, the king is looking back to the quote unquote subjects or to the members of the kingdom going, let's go, folks. We all have to emulate the same archetypal vision of what man and woman is. I ain't separate and divided here. I'm just a representation. That's all anybody is here in this realm. That's what a person is, a persona, a mask, a representation of the Most High.
Look at this one. Trump Whopper says, I will choose love over whatever else these guys are proposing. Actually, the most dangerous people have that. No, your definition of love is fucked up. You have a feminine-only definition of love, which is completely a vacuum for the other half of the yin-yang. You can't just have feminine fucking love. You had no daddy, and you are completely twisted. That's why you were talking about Trump before, because he's filling that gap. You think that this one man outside of you is going to fill that gap and do red flag laws and do another 6 trillion and stop or start more wars. I don't know. Build bigger fucking walls at the bottom there, and totally run your life.
Saturn's love, Shaitan's love, where they eat themselves and their own children. That's their love. I didn't have a strong masculine role model, just like my father. So I'm going to project that onto Donnie Trump while also conflating that I'm going to choose love. How is Donnie Trump either romantically, emotionally, or objectively, when it comes to doing what's true and what's right, a loving man or father? He's neither. That's what's fascinating. You picked an actual egotistical narcissist to represent you and your cause while claiming I'm one. It doesn't get any more fascinating and rich than this.
Come on up, Trump. The way it works here is when you want to say something, you join the open live panel where literally anybody can join.
Yeah, it's like these people don't see where this is going to mayhem in the streets, like you were saying, Sandy. Like, you know, it's like, why not have the mentality now? Like they're going to be ultra comfortable. Like they get comfortable with anything quick, dude. Like if all of a sudden like just fucking shit's out of control, they're just fucking executing people in the streets, hanging them off of trees, like whatever. These people just fucking won't take too long for them to fucking go along with it. But like so we're gonna push ourselves to like where there's actual old school like kings and shit, like little communities and people like voting a leader and fucking like me in this small town. Oh, I can't be I don't have a desire like to be a king, like a narcissist, but it's like if I start going around, okay, I talk to the cops, I talk to this, I want to talk to more like people that are the kings of this shit. The mayor, right? He's the king of the small town, supposedly. Some senator was just here doing they just did a $900,000 donation to affordable housing. It's like, well, why can't I fucking go and start talking to these people and sort of just have like a king fucking essence to me, not in an egotistical way, but like, you know, and putting myself out there and then just seeing what the fuck happens, dude.
Why not? Isn't that what this world needs? Is that beings from each of their towns to do that? Now, some of them are lost. My fucking hometown, I don't know. I think it's lost. New York, but yeah, I mean, the smaller towns. I mean, isn't that what is needed to a being with light inside of his heart to say, "Hey, like, what's going on here?" Because nobody's fucking doing it. How often have we seen over the past 5 years folks with tons of influence didn't say a fucking word? That really threw me for a fucking loop. All these assholes, all these people with millions of followers and numbers didn't say a fucking thing. And I'm like, am I in a crazy? Am I nuts? So, and that shit was obvious, right? So everywhere needs beings with light in them to, yeah, like you just said, hey, where's this money going? Hey, why are you guys paying this tax? Hey, what's this property tax? Hey, what is this? Hey, they're taking their G's away. Oh, what are they doing in the school there? CRT? What's that? Why isn't there a different school? Why isn't there again? Like the things I was thinking about when I was yelling at Sly. I looked at it again. It's 30 minutes long yesterday, and I'm like, where's the community? Like, why isn't there a community healing center? Where's the community? And there's none. It's a corporate hospital. Where's the community bank run by men? None. There's the Grappler Bank. Where's the community court? None. Where's the community garden like you were at? Nowhere. I don't see a plant anywhere except trees that have no fruit. Like, shall I continue? Where are all of these things? Where's the private security force? None. The cops. 100 years ago, the Italians, Godfather 1, the Don goes, what? Why did you go to the police before coming to me? Why are you going to the police before coming to your own private thing to handle it in honor, under your own code? Where's your own code? Where's your own fellowship? Nowhere. None of these things are there. The communities are fucking decimated, shattered. Somebody's got to fucking try again, start over. Or
Timmy,
you just
narcissism, Timmy. If you're just if you're just a lowly scum slave like you or I, and you have some vision beyond yourself that seems to work for you and others, and you want to implement that for the benefit of yourselves and others, that's narcissism. It's not narcissism to give all your power and attention and funding away to the actual narcissists like Donnie Trump and Joey, who will just say and do and be whatever it is they have to retain their legacy, their power, their entitlements, their aggrandization, their enrichment, right? We're now in complete inversion land where the narcissists are the real people and the real people are the narcissists. It's great. I love this simulation.
Yeah, you're right, brother. Should just cope. You know, get some pussy, get some money, and not really that much.
Drink the beer, bet on the sports, not understand legal and lawful. Maybe go the other way. Be a patriot hard, call yourself a scholar, say fuck the pigs, do a 180, cry on the phone, and ask for another 100,000 for legal fees.
And plead. Don't forget pleading out.
Yep.
Not looking at the law, not looking at understanding anything.
No, not being a philosopher. It's important to say constitutional law scholar. There's a lot of money in that because people lost their rights. They didn't lose them. They gave them away. Forget about that. There's no real money in saying I'm a philosopher and actually being that and living that, having a love of wisdom and truth over the nonsensical dualistic dynamics that they inject you into. Or see how that works? There's no money really in saying I'm a philosopher. But if you say I'm a constitutional law scholar and I got answers for rights and freedoms, which you're all lacking right now, you can really capitalize off that. Because you know the majority of slaves just want what they want when they want it. So as soon as they become aware they're in slavery, oh my God, something's got to be done. How do I get my rights back? Trifold. Right? Now, God forbid you actually tell the masses of slaves that philosophy is the answer. What? I have to do work? I have to seek knowledge? I have to understand myself? I have to apply it? I have to co-create in this realm with an otherworldly force? And also other people who embody that? Holy shit, that seems like a lot. You have anything easier and quicker and more straight to the point? Trifold. Donnie Trump. Hire the attorney.
I mean, the mentality I have, it's like the positive gangster thing, the positive mafia thing. The mafia used to run Rhode Island, or they still do, or the citizens kind of preferred that. Like it ran better. But like it's a small town that I'm in, dude. Like if I can't take it over and become king in a positive, non-narcissist sense, you go on to the next one, but I think that's what's naturally going to happen. Like if there's all this mayhem in our near future and people are going to transition and get used to weird shit.
Oh, they're like transitioning, that. All right. The majority of these men are becoming inauthentic corporate males, and soon they're going to become full-on women. With all this love and light they're embodying, with all this ignorance to objective logic, morals, ethics, and etymologies and words and terms and meanings, we're transitioning, all right.
Yeah, because they want the straight debauchery. They want the whole pedo thing. They want just, I don't know if they want it, but they're going to move into it because they're going to have so much self-hatred. Like, because if every man knows what's right and wrong, and there's so many slaves out here, then they kind of know they're in a slave and they're doing the copium, the denial thing. Like,
you know what? Let me help you out here. A man with multiple women, I'm showing you how this works. Man with multiple women, even though it says it in the Bible, narcissism. You know what's not narcissism? A free and empowered woman who has 3 beta male boyfriends. There you go. I'm trying to help you out here. Yeah, it's an inversion of our nature because women are meant to be monogamous and men are meant to be polyamorous. And through that dynamic, we meet a complementary middle ground. But hey, why not invert our nature the way God created us to be for this great plan that sounds and feels so good? 3 beta males for each woman. That's how you know the woman is liberated and sexually empowered and free. She's not gonna be mansplained to. She's gonna do the explaining on how those 3 beta males are gonna be her property. And they're gonna turn themselves into what her version of a man is. That's where we're at. That's the new free, empowered, sexually liberated woman. Now, don't you dare act like a man in his nature and say that you're compelled to have multiple women. That's narcissism. You get it, O'Shea? Are you getting it? Going with your nature, narcissism. Compelling other people to do the opposite of what their nature, not narcissism. Are you getting it at all?
Yeah, I think it's starting to click. And they got a high school over here. You were just talking to me about why is this like the fucking high school looks like a goddamn jail, dude. All the schools, I mean, all the windows are like blocked up. It's just a big fences. And like, I'm sure they're like, oh, it's because the school shooters. Maybe someone could fucking look in the window across the street and snipe them, or fucking. It's all like militarized, fucking like, what the fuck, dude? I'm sure they got to like do metal detectors or some weird shit. Like, I almost want to go investigate, dude. Like, what's the procedure when these kids go into this school? Like, they have to get fucking, this tiny little town. Fucking,
it's a den of vipers, dude.
I need you to speak on this, Timmy, because they think I disagree. Conscious and awareness leads to one realization. Love is all you need. I'll accept that. The question is, what does your version of love and care look like day to day? Cause and effect, results. Because you're going to say that, but you're not going to live that. On paper, you're a pathetic slave who hates themselves and everything that is good and true. I'd bet anything on it, Trump-tard. Somebody who realizes love is all you need, who loves themselves and the truth, does not vote for Donald Trump. Tard. Just like all you need is love, folks want to get treatments from your corrupt medical systems and tell me all about how love is all you need. Someone who loves themselves and the truth does not get treatments put into them by a corrupt system. Tard. Why is this so hard for these? It really is hard for the broken males and females to understand true self-love and care outside of what they've been brought up in, the asylum.
Yeah, and it's 2024, guys. Like, I know you kind of, a lot of you have the luxury to like think about your fucking answer for a minute and then type one sentence in the, you know, the protection of your fucking hovel. It's not reality. That isn't real. You don't get to just go on Facebook and like type a comment and then like a day later think about your fucking answer and then type another comment. That's not what communication is. That's not how it works. So come up here and speak your piece, or why are you here?
We never even got back to the castrated. I had so many things we were going to get to, and once again, it happened. It happened again, Lauren. It happened again.
But yeah, yo, real quick, that's the school thing. Oh shit, it's like such a fucking den of vipers. People can't even, there's like 17 things wrong with most of the folks in the public schools. They're like, first of all, they think they have to pay property tax. I'm required to pay for the school. They forced me to pay. So therefore, I'm just going to, well, I have to send my kid there. Well, I have to go and the mayor just, I can only vote for the mayor. He makes and then the federal government gives them money, so they have to accept it. I have to go to work to get my slave coins to afford all this nonsense. And sadly, my miserable wife, she has to go to her job too because of inflation. Oh my, there's so many, I'm such a victim. And it's just like, you fucking religious losers. They control your fucking life. And shut up, stop complaining. Fucking tired of it.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm all fear bound, like, but no, nothing's bad's been going here, bro. So that's what I got to realize about this town. They haven't done it. Like the interaction with the police, like nothing has gone wrong yet. I need to just keep pushing it to see where I find some resistance, dude. Like, when the fuck are they going to stop? Or when the fuck is something wrong going to happen, dude? That's almost like I want to leave. It's like, it's too quiet here. They're too old. Maybe it's right where I need to be for some fucking reason. The car broke down.
Hey, whoever, O'Shea, you're re-streaming. Could you just go ahead and time Tommy out, because he and his manipulative, deceptive, narcissistic, game-playing, power-hungry ways is going specifically to your chat to try to like get influence, right? And then tell Timmy to go. He's desperate lately to get everyone over to his couch and be a part of his horrible broadcast. He doesn't get that. We think he's a non-credible clown and that we're probably never going to go there. And he really has no choice but to either like stream himself gaming or create little meme content for Reddit and all the little childlike mentality folks who he would relate to. There's no purpose in what you're doing, Tom. It's not going anywhere. You have 20 regular live viewers and half of them are from this audience watching you fail and think you're doing something. So like, just stop the embarrassment, stop the desperate cling, stop going all over saying, come to my panel and argue, bring it to my area. You're just desperate for attention and notoriety so you can get money to pay for what you can't afford, one of it being your dog's health. You've said it all. You've shown it all. You're all the same. You, pathetic warrior, slave cot, all of them, slow state. You're all money hungry, power hungry, manipulative, deceptive, drug addled, alcohol addled freaks. And I'm just thankful and grateful and blessed that I'm not you at this point. And I have a completely different walk and set of results. I can't be more thankful, grateful, and feel blessed. It just renews my faith.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm not interested, man. I mean, you can just come up and talk like a man, or like, I'm not going to.
He can't do that because he knows he can't control himself. And when he can't control himself and acts out, he's going to get muted or put in the back and then claim people are mod godding, even though that's what he does in his area when he doesn't get what he wants. Even if people speak at a proper, appropriate tone and wait for people to respond, when he doesn't get the answers he wants, he throws people in the back in his area. Another reason the dummy can't get anybody over there. because he's mod-godding based on his feelers, not based on having an actual back and forth, which he can't achieve either.
Hello.
How are you, Tom?
I think you were that last guy to sit on my couch. And Timmy, this is our timeless thing, man. I've always been telling you, just come. Yes, I call you a hook-nosed grabbler the same way I got my cracker-ass nigger friends and stuff. I just tell you, let's have that talk where we're not interrupted, and I'll have that talk.
No, nobody wants to have the talk with you on your broadcast where you manipulate people over there so you can raise your subscribers and potentially grift funds. That's all this is based on.
I'm not grifting.
There is no conversation that can't be had anywhere else that has to happen on your couch.
You're muting me right now.
You want to make it all about you and what you need and want. And no one else is really interested in playing into your bullshit agenda and dynamic.
They love it. I got
Who's
the footage of you.
There's 20.
Listen,
there's 20 drug, alcohol,
say
adult
20.
teens like you who are
20
obsessed and
is your
fixated on
go-to
gossip
number.
and drama.
When you were on my couch saying 20, I said, read the exact live viewer number. And you wouldn't do it because you realized you're looking stupid saying 20, 20, 20.
What's the difference?
Yes, sometimes.
What's the difference? Even if it was 500. What's the difference? It's meaningless. It's purposeless. It's valueless.
So why
you make little
do you
to nothing
say the
doing it
number?
monthly. What does it amount to?
Why do you say what's the difference is you're the one saying the number.
There's
Why
no principles and value basis. There's no conscious and awareness going on there. There's no dynamic of any kind of content besides you gossiping and drama queening and talking about me and other people you've interacted with on here that you're jealous and envious.
That's you. That's you.
It's actually not, because I haven't gone to your hole. I went over there again once every month. I tried to come up and talk to you like a human being.
And you didn't
started
talk,
well, and then you got into your feelers, started acting out, started projecting, started spinning, and then it went nowhere. So I left. Like it always does.
No, you left because you ran.
You're here every day. I check in with you once a month, hoping with faith that you'll be better and that you'll get your act together and stop being poor and broke and resentful and disenfranchised and disenchanted.
Tell me about it.
And fixating and obsessing about me. Maybe you can figure out what
the last time. Remember, Paul, you came up and said,
"Why can't you folks ever just leave my life and not come back?"
Remember, Paul,
why can't you folks ever just leave my life and not come back? And then when you stay in my life and can't leave and not come back, and I check in on you once a month, you take that as a license to show up more every day. Project your fucking sickness and nonsense, then try to grift your audience over to your area so you can use them.
When do I answer?
Abuse them. It's obvious you're desperate for content.
May I reply?
For audience members, it's obvious.
I'm not desperate for anything.
You're desperate for money. You don't have any money to pay for your dog's treatment. You're another Mitchell. You're another Talcott. You're another Keef. You're another Keith Wizard.
This is why you
don't work. You guys don't have any savings. Whatever little bit you do have is tied up in some ridiculous investment you've probably made.
You look like a weak fucking bitch when you.
I don't really care what the drug-addled, inconsequential, irrelevant gamer nerd online who's constantly LARPing as a tough guy, threatening violence on everyone. You threatened to break two people's jaws yesterday while saying you were for Jesus and God.
I am for Jesus and God.
Do
you remember what you didn't have?
You're a latching, vampiric, parasitic, insane person.
Rabble. What do you got, Paulie? That's why you got to come over to my couch. So you can't do this. You're mod-godding, bitch.
What you are. You're wasting everybody's.
I'll see you when you come back in your obsession.
You're wasting everybody's time again. There you go. Another Illumitami appearance. Great stuff. You made so many points. You exposed me. You won. I lost. Now back to your hole to do the next 2 hours of your non-broadcast, all about the interaction you had with your daddy, non-daddy. But I'm the narcissist, right?
Yeah, O'Shea, you keep driving around, you're going to get arrested, dude. It's gonna be I mean, I'm just bringing that up because, like that was his main sticking point. Like, that was such a positive experience for me. I mean, I'm not saying it's not gonna end up like chilly and fucking I changed my tune, but like up to this point, like his main thing, you're gonna get arrested. I mean, not to make it about me, but like,
holy shit, it's a nest. There's they're all appearing today. All the fucking demons. Jesus Christ.
Well, they all always appear at the same time. That's how you know it's a spiritual dynamic. Cuck body outline, Illuma slavery. They all come out of the woodwork at the same times, the same frequencies, with the same energies and presentments, the same fears and doubts they want to bring to my table because they're fearful and insecure and doubtful. The numbers are looking thin, Paul. You should really be doubting and afraid. You should probably quit broadcasting like I did for 6 months, and Pathetic Warrior and Ian and all the rest. You should come join us and be a loser failure. Yeah, demons. There's no other way to describe them. Latching, vampiric, parasitic demons who want to keep me in a box that I was in, that I've escaped, that they've never seen the edges of or left. It's obvious who and what they are. Just like the freak yesterday projecting, I look like I'm ready to give up and quit. That's what you want. That's not what I look like and sound like. I come here animated with fire every day for at least 3 hours, if not more. I'm never lacking for conversation or presentment or expression or content. We always get it done. But you're going to project that I look like I'm ready to quit. No, that's what you subconsciously want. You and CBO, Illuma Tommy, Pathetic Warrior, Slave Cotton, all the rest. That's why Jack Talcott feigns to care for me and says, you should take a day off here and there, Paul. He doesn't give a fuck about me. You're all just waiting for the day I don't show up so you can say I quit. So you can say I'm weak. So you can say I doubt my purpose here in this audience. So you can say I'm poor and broke like you. That's all it's about. You just want to get verification and validation living through me and projecting onto me what you all do that you wish I would do so you can equalize with me. You're fucking pathetic. I'm not you. I don't do what you do. My audience doesn't receive me the same way. We don't have the same financial situation. We don't have the same oration ability. We don't have the same content. We don't have the same focus in life or the same fascinations or hobbies. We're not at all the same, except on the highest level as consciousness and awareness. The difference is the space between us, not the physical space, the space in consciousness and awareness on the lowest level. What the truth is, where the meaning and value is, where's the importance, where's the co-creation, where's the cause and effect, response and accounting. You're not interested in any of that. That's what divides us. So it's a very interesting simulation because we are oneself, but there's also miles between us when it comes to the lowest level conscious and awareness, what we do and don't do, and what the results are. Sorry that you're upset that your life and your channel didn't turn out the way you thought it would. I'm rather pleased with my walk and journey, shadow banning and all. They can't stop me. You demons can't put self-doubt and fear into me anymore. You can't waver from me from my purpose. You can't make me go back to a corporate slave job and not come on here 3 hours a day and be able to make a decent fucking living because I have extended friends and family who gift me privately, and that's a non-taxable event, pal. I know that upsets you folks. Go ahead, Sophia.
Hello, Paul. How you doing
How are
today?
you?
How are you?
I'm the same that I am every day. I am that I am.
That's wonderful.
Same as I am yesterday, today, and will be tomorrow.
Well, you'll change a little bit because growth will occur
Will I?
eventually. I have a question for you.
It's already passive aggressive. She's already revealed herself and she's not aware of it. She's the same type of person who would call me a narcissist because she's already put it in her mind when she met me. She will be the special, unique woman who's going to change Paulie Boy. That's what this game with me and her is all about. She won't accept it.
I'm actually here because you say that you're a man of your word.
Here we go.
So
Here we go. Here we go. Here it comes.
I would like to know. I have a hard question for you, and I
have a hard question for you that you still haven't answered. Are you alone in your life?
I'm going to ask my question first.
Of course you are, because you're passive aggressive, entitled, and whatever you want needs to happen. But whatever I want's never going to happen. That's why you're the narcissist, and you don't get it. Being nice, kind, and polite, and feigning to be religious doesn't change. You folks are the narcissist, and you want to project it onto me. You're not a woman of your word. So why would you even call me to the carpet of being a man of my word? You're not that. So how are you going to make a judgment on it?
Have you started your nutrition and wellness program
Yes,
yet?
absolutely, I
So
have.
that you can get
Yes,
strong
absolutely, I have. So we're
physically
back
and
to the
then be
overweight thing. We're
healthy?
back to the passive aggressive, pointing out
And what
my
have you
fault
done?
instead
What
of
have you done,
accepting your
Paul, with the
codependent,
land
needy
that you
projection.
purchased in 2022?
What have I
You
done?
done
Here we
anything with
go.
that land, or
Here
you
we
just want to
go.
sit on your butt
Why
and
are you
grift?
telling me about land that I purchased? I never purchased land. The story is wrong again. More dysfunction, twisted narratives, and
You're a
narcissistic
chicken,
bullshit.
Paul. You're
While
a
you
coward.
Why are you telling me about what I'm doing and not doing while you're doing nothing other than watching me for years and pretending to be different people? Daisy May, get a life. You folks are the codependent, needy, narcissistic folks who even come into the interaction revealing yourself. Well, you'll change one day. Yeah, you're going to make sure of it, aren't you? Because you're put in life to do nothing other than watch me and help to change me into someone like you. Give me a fucking break. Asking me what I'm doing with land, asking me what I'm doing on here. Yeah, sit around and try to hold me accountable while I have things and people and am doing things while you have nobody and nothing. And watch, wait, and hate on me while masquerading as someone who loves and cares for me. You don't. You're just another parasitic, vampiric user, projector, and rejector, like many other folks we've seen here, like Jack Talcott, who you align so closely with. Like Aaron Gauci, who you aligned so closely with at one point. You're all the same.
That's funny, right?
Silence is deafening.
The longer the time goes out, like these years, you see like how many of the demons like go in and out of the clown panel, clown people's lives, and then you see all the times that they've these quote unquote hosts, these streamers, they align with the demon person for like a week.
Timmy, it's even accurate one for one with the term. I'm the host, and what does a host have? Parasites. Am I off on this? That's what it's called. So it makes sense that as a strong host that I am, that I would be surrounded at times by parasites looking to vampire and parasite and suck off me as a host. She's just another one of them. And they all sound the same. They all feel the same. They all have the same bullshit beliefs. And they all have the same projection of how I'm going to change for them while they're not changing themselves for them, despite having horrible results in their life. It's very Talcottian. She refuses to see it. Maybe she's not able to see it.
You gonna respond, Sophia?
What is this, please?
Well, here's where we do the retreat. I'm a victim, coward. I'm going to go silent or run routine. There it is.
Right.
There it is. You folks are predictable as the day is long. It's like you all come up and have the same gambit. Appeal to your emotions, desires, wants, and entitlements. No explanation of who and what you are, what you do or create, or how it makes any sense. Expectations and entitlements from me and with me. When you don't get it, you fight me, project onto me, or you run like a coward. It's the same game with all of you. You're literally Mr. Smiths in the Matrix. You've identified that I'm the one. I'm still like trying to figure out what's going on here. You've identified I'm the one, and you're going to show up in my life all around me to try to trick me with your shape shifting and deceive me away from my purpose and what I create. This is why they wrote the movie The Matrix. Dynamics like this. It's one for one. Always the same person and personality type and disorder. It's always the same gambit. It's always the same presentment and always the same reaction. And they're going to do it day after day till they either wear me down and I leave, or I decide to shut the chat down altogether and not put links out, because they just can't be a part of the co-creation. They can't be a part of the experience. They only serve one purpose: to vampire, parasite, and suck from the host. That's their lot in life until they recognize who and what they are, which may never happen.
Yeah, Wizard's a particular case, man. He's here for a year and a half. It used to irk me sometimes. I'd get into it, Paul, and he'd be sitting there in the back. I mean, I was doing it today. You know, you're getting into it with certain people, and I was actually trying to avoid it because I'm agreeing with you, but I don't want look like wizard, but he's particular kind of creepy, dude. I guess I can relate to it though. Was when you put the focus on someone, no matter how long they've been here, it's like the reactions are fucking similar. Like when someone's going to be held accountable.
Why are they always so predictable? Because psychology and sociology and spirituality is real? I don't know.
Jimmy, you think you're so smart. You think you know everything. Well, it's called pattern recognition. It's really not that fucking difficult.
That actually is true intelligence. That's why I'm around a 130 IQ, because I have an amazing pattern recognition. It's why I could tell you what was going to happen before it happened when the folks who were in it couldn't tell me what was happening while they were in it. Slavid-19? Right. Some of us have true intelligence. We can recognize patterns and reverse engineer and speak to the greater systems dynamics. The rest of you are basically the deaf, dumb, and blind at this point. Yet you come here to tell me and Timmy and others how to live, who can see, feel, hear, and speak and create results. It's fascinating. They wonder why folks like me, I don't know how Timmy escaped it. Folks like me usually wind up dead already, right? The folks who have the discernment and the vision and some type of ability or genius are usually gaslit so hard by the rest of these parasitic suckers and squares that they do go on heroin and wind up killing themselves. Instead of changing themselves, changing the world, or bringing something to the world of immense value, they wind up usually like suicidal on drugs and winding up killing themselves because they're surrounded by narcissistic, vampiric, parasitic, delusional freaks like this who call themselves friends and family and coworkers. It's beyond fascinating.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what Saturn is an archetype, the god that eats its own children, Timmy. It's one for one. They're all Satanists. Go ahead.
Now you're making me feel something in my gut. You're bringing back those memories. But yeah, man, I mean, I just had to I always kept moving. Just keep moving. And, on some level, keep moving to avoid the latching, keep that momentum to avoid the latching of the parasite, if you will. But yeah, there's a lot of dark times that, seems what is there to be done?
One after the next. Here we go. They put the call out. Once the call out, it's like a mating call. Once one of them shows up, the list of them shows up. It's uncanny. It's uncanny.
Somebody coined a new term in weather. They said it's a turtle wave.
Hear me out for 1 second.
We always hear you out, Tarek. Don't act like we're not going to hear you out, because I am patient and caring, still truthful and real, but I'm also forgiving because I don't take it personal. They know not what they do. We always hear you out. I always hear Sophia out. I always hear Jack Talcott out. I always hear them out.
No, I appreciate it, Paul. Yesterday, I got into it with Daisy May on Jack's panel. In the chat, and I told her, if I was Paul, I would never tell you anything about what I do. You are wrong, and you are a fake Christian. I told her everything. Why is she coming back again here? That's what I'm wondering. I was actually sleeping when this was happening right now.
Because
and I heard
she's
your voice.
needy and codependent, and she has drug, alcohol, or family issues, or all three. Oh, another person who embodies this personality disorder to a motherfucking T. I swear to God, if you guys don't think that there's an order in this chaos and that there's an order to the simulation, and like the Matrix shows you, people are running programs, this is absolute proof day in and day out.
Yeah.
It cannot be refuted. It's holographic in its nature.
I agree, Paul. I got into it with her for like 10 minutes and she wouldn't let it go. And I told her, if you're a good Christian, you would let it go. If you praise and all that, you would let it go. And she wouldn't let it go. So now this is another day and she's back on your panel and she's going back at you, which I'm surprised. So Daisy May, calm the fuck down.
If you have no knowledge of self and control over self and one's life and future, then you can't be a good Christian because you don't know self. Therefore, you don't know God. I'm tired of folks using these words and terms and entitlements that they think are going to give them false power, that they can be codependent and entitled with other falsely empowered codependents. It doesn't hold water. It's a cope. You're not a good Christian because you're not godly. And that doesn't mean nice, kind, and polite because you fake it. It means real and true and having wisdom, which the true wisdom is knowledge of self. You don't know yourself, and you damn sure don't know me. You've been here a year and a half, and you still can't call who and what I am and what I do correctly because you don't have the discernment. You're too busy talking from your feelers rather than the facts. You got to get your feelers out of the way in order to apprehend the facts. Go ask every simped out, tricked out mark who has a love for a broken hoe that's never going to be what they wish it to be. Their feelers elude you and them. This is a one self dynamic. Doesn't mean I wasn't part of it. Doesn't mean I don't have it in me or around me or part of my experience. It's precisely because I do have that in my experience that I can speak on it. So most folks in life are tricked out of their power and position in their home, in life, in government, in everywhere, in every venue, at the courts, because their feelings are in the way of the facts and the truth and the words and their meaning and the value and principles held within. The faster we accept that to be true, unless you can explain something else I haven't seen and thought of, the faster we can all start to do this practice of self-mastery and self-direction and get better results. Your thoughts, goblin creature?
I'm just absorbing what you're saying, man.
Right. So now they're telling me, see what this turns into every day, but they say I'm the negative one. I'm the narcissistic one. I'm the one using everyone mean for content bullying. You folks only sit around me to use me for content and conversation. We're going to do another slave cop broadcast because he has nothing else to talk about or show in his life because he's an absolute loser failure. We're going to do the I was mean to Paulie Boy to get back at him for what he did to you, Jack. Let's get false validation online. We're not going to go back to DeCastro or anything else I had up there. We're refocused on the actual narcissistic, parasitic, using scum who can't just go away from me and stay away. And I'm on their mind constantly, and they have nothing of their own content or results to show.
I feel like you're directing that towards me, and I'm telling you.
I don't know. Does it apply? Because I'm not.
I haven't been being.
Hold on. Jack had 7 people watching while Sophia brags about insulting me. But she's a good, loving Christian.
How to help others.
This is what they want. This is what they need. I'm feeding into it now. I'm giving the narcissistic, using parasitic scum exactly what they want. Even when I give them what they want,
what you're describing is accurate. Your words are truthful, but it's a lesson for us all, right? And today, really, the idea is how to let go and how to appreciate, right? Realizing this is an adventure. This
right. You're absolutely right down there, person. Shadow ban. Most of these truth communities are people fighting over who has the most integrity, when the joke of it is it's all on record. I don't need to fight and argue over having more integrity than these folks. It's on record. It's proven. What's the argument? These folks are not integral in any sense. They have no foundation. They have no basis. They have no fortitude and resilience. It's obvious in the way that they look and present and how they speak. I'm on record 10 ways to Sunday as that. I don't have to argue the truth, and the truth can't be argued other than to make the facts clear and presently known. It can't be invalidated or discounted. Check the record. That's why Mr. Talcott and others don't like the record, because it can't be skewed or distorted. Your track record and your credibility and integrity is all on record. All there. We see it every time we interact with you folks. So get a fucking clue. You don't have any integrity. You have no foundation. You're weak in your basis. And do the steps it's going to take to rebuild yourself in the image of the Most High and gain that. You folks fold like a fucking card table. You can't put the damn baba down. You can't put that fucking house with the fireplace down that you can't even pay for. so weak and baseless and have no foundation. As soon as they're taking the least bit out of their element, their comfort zone, their codependency and their addiction and vice and bondage, they don't know what to do with themselves. Broken fucking children. It's all we have here, from one side to the other. This metaverse is a great simulation entertainment for all the masters out there who are working with direction on creating a slave pen for everybody that you can't even see or touch. They must love this place. 3/4 of my audience must be Club of Rome members and Jace in society. Shit like this. They just sit around laughing their fucking balls off. They can't wait to one day go, Paulie boy, we're going to give you another couple of years till you get really disenchanted with humanity. And then we're going to offer you, like the Mason did that one day, we're going to offer you to do comedy at our Club of Rome event. And you just talk about how we're the masters and we're destroying ourselves too, and how slaves are pathetic, destroying themselves. And we're all just in this together indirectly. They love it. They're so masochistic and sadistic, but also ordered and directed and are getting results. They fucking love it. They can't get enough. You weak ass slaves with no direction and no vision and no goals that you're not hitting, you can't stand it. They don't give a fuck about me here talking because they know 3/4 of the audience ain't going to do nothing different other than be a bunch of pathetic, embarrassing cowards. They get a hoot and holler out of it, I'm sure. They go, hey, watch this escaped slave try to go back and retrieve the rest of them. Watch them. It's great. It's great content. Watch them all come up, just cycle and spin, just make justifications and excuses for their powerlessness, project their dysfunction onto others who are actually doing and being something different. They fucking can't get enough of it. I know if I was them, I'd love it. Not only because the general public gets to show their dysfunction and foolishness, I'm the biggest fool here. Instead of going and working with them, I decided to create a covenant with the force of creation and then try to show and explain the truth as I experience it to other folks who claim they want that and need that to be free and unslaved. There's no better saga, right? There's no better just week in, week out Netflix-like entertainment for the folks who are running a train on everybody when it comes to the public realm. They crack a beer open to this, just like Big Goblin does.
Because that's what happens when you're free. You sometimes get bored. Did you know that?
You're bored because you just do so much and have done so much and achieved so much. There's nothing left to do. You're just bored.
No, I'm looking for a new goal.
No, you've given up. You're broken and you've given up. You're not bored. There's plenty of things in life you could do to excite yourself.
I'm not broken though. I am.
I'm bored, so I'm going to waste away and kill myself. That sounds fun and exciting,
I don't have to do anything, and I spend my.
If you're bored, how about traveling freely? That'll excite you. That'll be an exciting life. All you bored folks out there who drink your nights and life away. Well, then there's nothing stopping you from taking them plates off and riding around and traveling freely. Let's see how bored you are. Let's see how exciting you want your life to be.
I've already done it, dude.
Give me a fucking break. You guys aren't bored. You're broken and giving up.
I got a whole record that shows what I've done in my life, okay?
I'm not interested. I'm really not. Jack Talcott's live. Why are you not over there? That's where all the love and care is. You know, here we tend to do accountability, cause and effect, solutions, problems.
Did I say I was looking for that?
I don't know. I don't know what anybody at this point, the majority of folks, are looking for here or expect here based on their answers and responses and displays. Wow. Based on Sophia's bizarre display here today, which is just characteristic of her and many others.
You've been dealing with bullshit for a while. Just because I don't comment that often anymore doesn't mean that I don't see what the fuck's going on.
Okay. All right, let's hear more from Slave Cot, and then maybe we'll get back to Cash Show. Maybe I wrap it up. I'm already 15 minutes over here at least.
Can I want to pause because Hank, you've got something. Should I bring this up?
Yeah, go ahead and show this
Okay.
email. We're probably gonna show it again today. This is an email sent to Jack Talcott today, predicting that Paul was gonna watch Jack Talcott's show today because he lost Talcott clip collections. So
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Talcott clip collections is gone.
he hid all his videos. He hid videos.
Okay.
So I predicted that Paul's gonna be using Jack for content today. So it's a prophecy. We'll see what happens, but it's pretty predictable because he's in the loop. Oh, I called it. You're looping. You're predictable. You think you read our minds, and you're just sitting yourself. You're in the hall of mirrors, Paul. You're in the hall of mirrors, and you don't want to hear what I have to say.
Fascinating.
But you know what?
The delusions are real.
Since I know how you think, I'm gonna say I'm the one true narcissist. If you call anyone else a narcissist, it's fake.
The fixation obsession is real.
So I know your moves. What are you gonna do now?
How about let's bring it back to us.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because this is an interesting experience that we are sharing, right? And there's some interesting characters in this experience that we are sharing, not only online on the YouTube stuff in these panels and chats, but there's some interesting characters in our communities, in our world, everywhere. And here, let's bring it more to positivity if we can, right?
Excellent.
So this morning I got up and beautiful sunny day, and look at the calendar, and here in my community there's a group called the Homeless Coalition, and each month a group of the community leaders, nonprofit leaders,
I was trying to sign up and
get together,
they wouldn't let me join.
trying to deal with a common problem that's everywhere.
Coalition.
And in a recent stream, I mentioned how
I decided I would
went to
revamp this
city
whole
council meeting
homeless
and then
community
to the
organization.
court
I took
hearing,
the
and I
leadership
observed.
role.
I'm watching life as an experience, right? I'm observing
I tried to
life
get
and what
benefits
is
and
happening.
from the homeless.
And at city
but
council,
until
No,
they
Timmy,
recognize
I'm
me-
too prideful to
and
ask
at the
them for
court
help.
hearing,
I
I
took
saw
over the
members of our
organization, and I'm now
community
leading it
divided.
because I can do
Divided
better
over
than them. I
budgets,
don't need to be a
divided over
client. I'm
rules.
leading them.
And this morning, I know my
I'm
community
changing
is
the
not
organization
unique.
for the better.
I
Someone's got
know
to do
there's
it.
heroes in most communities who are doing a lot in service of others. And this morning I got to
Is
see
someone going to go over there, please, and tell the
heroes.
three delusional tards that they're
And
doing
that
grandiose delusions
gives me
again
hope.
and hallucinations and
Community coming
projections?
together,
It's not real.
working together for
Jack Talcott doesn't know
solutions
what's
of
real. Is
people who have
anyone going to comment on
problems
it, or are we just
that
going
are
to
not
watch
their
me
own.
while you hang there and do this sick, twisted,
Brothers and
divide,
sisters,
conquer
that's why we're
power
here.
game that leads nowhere
We're
because you
not
guys
here
are
to
failing in
fight with
life.
each other and argue. We're sure as hell
Timmy, you're
not
good at
here.
that.
We're back in
sure
middle
as
school.
Don't
hell
cupcake like you did.
not here to be
Go ahead,
slaves
Don't
to
O'Shea.
some
cupcake this time, Timmy.
corrupt
Don't cupcake
banking
this time,
system
Timmy. Go over there.
and some political system
Yeah, Timmy,
that's
what's
gone
your deal,
awry.
man? You go over there and start cupcaking. Call
We're
everyone out,
here
man. Bring the
to
truth of what
bring
needs to happen
forth
here.
the
Make
love of
Daddy proud.
God, to show the love
Goblin's
of
the
God
same way. He only
through
speaks truth when
our
it comes to me, the truth
being.
he sees and feels.
And it's
You won't go
really,
over there and just tell him the
the
obvious.
more I'm
I've
practicing
experienced for a year and a
this,
half.
the more I'm gaining
I don't
in
cupcake over
confidence
there,
of
O'Shea.
this, that we are here to walk
You were all
with
quiet
love,
there
with
last
faith
time.
in love, to be
I'm just at the
love
point where like it's
wherever we go
insanity.
in
There's
our
a
best
limit.
ways, even if it's clumsy.
Oh, yeah, I got to stop this because I forgot. I did ask Jennifer earlier today. We plan on going yesterday and today to look at more land. So I got to get the fuck out of here. Give me a final word quick, and I'll be back tomorrow. It's better off. This guy's insane, and I really don't want to subject myself or the audience to it any more than necessary to kind of keep up with the saga. And, you know, act like something different's going to happen at some point.
I'll go first. Much love, much love. Thanks for having me here. And yeah, there was a turtle wave today, and somebody said that down in the chat. And yeah, I mean, on some level, there's some gems of interesting wisdom, I think, in there that came forth from that. So I think it was a positive once again. So, all right, thanks guys. See you next time.
Thank you, Timmy.
It was a
Go, folks.
tsunami. You, not me. All right, Paul. Thanks so much, man. Good luck on your land hunting. I'm gonna go hunt down something, a job, fucking opportunity. I don't know. Maybe I'll fucking make some content out of it. So I can bring some. All right. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. O'Shea.
I'll be in my hovel, Paul.
All right, so will I.
Goodbye.
I'll see you later, brother. All right, folks, tomorrow, 12 to 3, MDT, you know the thing. 7 days a week, over 500 days straight. Thank you to the contributors and supporters. You are a blessing to and I appreciate this audience's good humor and fortitude. So I'm out of here. Bye.
You folks always get what you want with me because you need it. See, the subconscious thing I really think this is it's too good. When they come next to me, the energy's too good. The conversation's too good. Everything's too right. They're not used to that. They need to get themselves in a position, in adversarial position with somebody to justify their life and position. They don't know what it's like to just work with everybody and to just do your own thing at the same time. Like work with everybody, keep it real, stand for something, and stay in your own lane and do what you do.